All right, all right. What's good? What's good out there, everyone out there in here, wherever you are. Appreciate y'all. If y'all coming in, y'all gonna come and see me. I really appreciate y'all. I am Call Me Nakomi, and this is Call Me Nakomi World. And welcome to my channel for an episode of Call Me a Sports Fan. And of course, I have my homeboy with me today, Uncle Willie's son. What's going on, dude? What's going on with you?
What's good? What's good?
Good, I'm good, bro. How you been? How you going? What's going on with you?
I'm living. I'm living. Ready to get some. Ready for Itis Day, National Itis Day.
National
Yeah.
Itis Day. Absolutely, absolutely. We all here waiting for it. Today, well, we live, so y'all know that today's Tuesday, and within 2 days we have our National Itis Day, our national watch some football, eat some food, go to sleep, wake back up, eat some more.
hmm
It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Some people do the whole bit, do the house crawl from one house to the next house to the X house. What's up, Auntie? Come away with a come away with a plate, come away with a plate. You know how that go.
Oh no, gas is high now. Gas is high now. I think we just sticking to the one. We gonna do the one this year.
Exactly. That's how you gotta do sometimes. Yo, shout out to Search and Destroy. What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? Salute to you too, brother. My bad. Thank you so much for coming in to sort of quick little peek in. I appreciate you, brother. Stay around, listen, or I'll holler at you for anything. But yeah. So I'm just trying to keep my eye on the chat. I usually don't even look at the chat because I'm looking at notes and stuff like that. But I'm missing a lot of my peoples who come through, so I'm just like trying to keep my eye on the chat a little bit, basically. But yo, much love to you too, brother. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. But yo, so we just gonna talk about some sports today, man. What's going on?
Man, let's do it.
Let's go. Let's start off with let's start off what we usually do. Let's start off with some basketball. We didn't get to talk too much basketball the last time.
Nah.
We was in. We touched on it a little bit. We touched on some Yama and stuff like that, but we didn't get to really talk about some other situations and things that are going on. The what's the word? When the president comes out once a year and he does the State of the Union,
State
the
of the
state
Union.
the state of the NBA Union. What are we like? Maybe 14 games in right now. You know what I'm saying? Some teams is really showing what they worth or showing what they ain't, or dealing
hmm
with dealing with injuries and stuff like that. Um, I want to ask you. So we got some we got top players out there, the usual, the Embiids and the
hmm
Giannis's and everybody else basically. And we have some people who are actually, doing a little less than we expected them to do. But we got some top teams, some usual suspects. I'm the Boston Celtics and the Sixers every single year they lock it down on the East, you know what I'm saying? So they doing their thing, you know what I'm saying?
You know who the Celtics remind me of? They remind me of San Francisco.
Thank you so much, man. San Francisco.
They just they just add parts to the machine and just keep it chugging.
Who you
For
talking
real.
about? Who you talking about?
I mean, like with the Porzingis move, that's like Chase
Oh,
Young. You know what I mean?
Boston. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They said, you know what? We could get better. We could get better. Which is
And
which is
then
I'm
let me
gonna
get Drew. And then
you,
let me
you
let
know
me
what?
scoop up
We got
Drew, you know?
Porzingis, but let me go ahead and get Drew. Why not?
Shh.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. So that's what I was saying the other on a show I was at. Oh no, it was our last show. I was just like, yo, for real, I'm not gonna front. Don't get me wrong, I definitely don't root for Boston, but sometimes I low key root for Boston. I feel like I'm not even like I'm just saying like when you have elite teams, even though they're your rival, you just like I don't want to see none of these other young little upstart teams. Like I'd rather see I call me crazy. I'd rather see a Boston win. Not really, because I don't want them to have more championships than we do than the Lakers do. But at the same time, the little San Antonio, is that like not San Antonio?
See,
If Sacramento came out and won a championship, I'd be like, come on, son, what they doing out here? How they even
I
got in here
mean,
for real?
it's like comfort food. It's the old familiar. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the old reliable. It's the after a long day, you know your go-to meal. You just whip that thing together in 30 minutes and call it an evening. Yeah.
Exactly,
But I mean,
exactly.
as far as like a from a Lakers fan, you don't want to see them win it all. But like you want to see them go far. But the mysterious thing is heat culture. What is that? Is that a real thing? Because it seems like we were talking about earlier, like they just getting like the last bit of everything out of that roster, and it's crazy. And it seems like they're more handicapped than they were last year.
Yo, man, I don't know if you want to say that. I mean, what is heat culture really? I mean, is it like just basically Adonis Haslam type? Just grind it out, play good defense, and we not gonna stop. We not. I think heat culture is at the very least right now. Heat culture is never gonna give up. They're gonna play until they're gonna play to the buzzer blows. What do you think?
Oh yeah, they gonna grind it out. They gonna make it do what it do, and that's the thing. I gotta say, there are very rarely like a lot of teams that do what they do on a consistent basis,
Hmm.
given the talent that they got. I mean, Tyler Hero can't stay in the starting lineup for
Hmm.
nothing, and they're still winning. A minute ago, they looked like they were playing bound. Now they're what, fourth in the East. These guys just keep doing it. I mean, man,
I
you
mean,
got Bam.
somehow they basically, to me, I thought that they would they got off to a slow start, but somehow they basically was able to just claw themselves back into it no matter what. I mean, I don't give Bam as much credit as he deserves. He definitely is a solid guy defensively, and he doesn't give as much like as say maybe as much of a punch as say maybe a offensive punch as AD can do when he's inspired to do so. But I'll say that he would you say Bam is more consistent than AD?
Oh, he's definitely more consistent.
Mhm.
If I was gonna have a player either or, I gotta say Bam at this point
You
because
would
he's
rather
been
have
there.
Bam than AD?
One reason why Bam has had longer playoff runs and he's still showing up to work the next season. Come on now, AD, like I need a minute to get up and started. I'm like, come on, man, what like I'm pretty sure Bam has gone through more nicks and bruises against Jokic and all that, and and everybody else more than AD, and he's still going out there bringing his hard hat.
I feel it. I feel it. I just feel like it's to compare the two. Yeah, they bring you the same. Uh, it's like I feel like AD is like a whole nother level to what Bam could do. Because where Bam's ceiling is maybe say 20 and 10. You don't never see Bam give 35 and 15 with 7 blocks.
That's
And that's
fine.
basically and that's it's fine. It's fine for them. You know what I mean? Basically, but AD, I mean, hey, with the way that LeBron's playing and AD has played for all of maybe say all but 3 games maybe this season.
Mhm.
He's been given a lot more, and we've needed every single one of those minutes. And every single one of those points, every single one of those rebounds. Lord knows we can't do no rebounds on the Lakers right now.
Nah. So what you
Um,
think about Jimmy though? Like,
mhm.
like, give me your thoughts on Jimmy.
I think Jimmy Butler reminds me um of Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men, where he's just like, "You need me on that wall, you want me on that wall."
Hmm.
He's like, you can't handle the truth. Jimmy Butler is that dude who is just like, listen, when you need force, he is absolute force. He's going to basically push it to the limit as much as possible. Unfortunately, he keeps on ending up on teams that either the alpha, quote unquote alpha,
Hmm.
is intimidated by him,
Would
his
you say
drive.
would you say he's like like one of the few X factors we do have in like NBA history? Just think about this. Say if you put him on any team that couldn't make it over the top. I think putting him on any team like that, they'd be over the top. They'd be perennial champions. I
Is
think
it?
all right, put him on that Celtics team in 2010.
Mhm.
You think they would have got that? They got the chip over Kobe and them.
I hate to say it, but of course. I mean, but that
That
Celtics
would.
team was, I mean, that would have been a big five. I mean, come on, you would have had Rondo, Paul Pierce, the ticket, Jesus Shuttlesworth, and Jimmy. Come on now, who beats
All
that?
right,
Who
all
beats that?
right. Against the 2015 Warriors. I know they lost the championship, but do you think put Jimmy on that Cavaliers team with Kyrie out and Kevin Love out, just him and LeBron on that Cavs with JR and Shump. You think they still do it?
Oh yeah.
What? That's
Come,
crazy. I'm telling you.
what?
See? Like
What?
Jimmy,
Listen,
like
no, listen. I will, and Jimmy is the only reason why every single year I don't basically just say that the Heat are done.
yeah.
The year that they went to the bubble championship against the Lakers, I was calling them a dark horse from the beginning of that season. I
Hmm.
said, "Yo, Minnesota messed up by letting them go.
Hmm.
The Sixers messed up by letting him go. Chicago messed up by letting him go. Basically, trying to choose they chose that was basically just them choosing Derrick Rose over Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. And he has proved that every single stop that he went to after that he was a piece that they needed. And unfortunately, they basically figured that the feelings of their star was worth more than winning. And that's not how Jimmy's built. Jimmy's like fuck your feelings. That's how
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is.
Yeah.
He will make y'all. I mean, you heard the stories basically playing on the B team and then mashing out the A team basically with him playing on the B team. And that's basically what he's kind of doing with the Heat. Motivation is moxie and motivation could get a lot of teams over the mountaintop. And a
Oh, I
lot
got
of
a
teams
question.
don't have they have the talent. They just
Continue.
don't have the goat to have to.
Yeah, man. I got a
Mm.
question though.
Mhm.
You think Kobe's getting six if he had Jimmy?
Ah, man, Kobe 6. Kobe would have had 7. You
He
tripping.
would have got seven if he had Jimmy?
Yo, because listen, it took him at least
Ooh.
he had to hang at least one of those championships. He had to give one of those championships up because Paul not Paul George, what's his name? Powell. Powell wasn't ready that first year. He didn't realize the assignment. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He was Jimmy comes in built in with that software. He comes built in with that kind of Mamba type software where he might not be like an acolyte, but you could be
Hmm.
on that kind of same wavelength of don't quit. You know, your team like not that specifically in the see Jimmy is not that type of player where it's just like you need me on this team kind of on the level of being cocky. He just knows that he's going to play 50% harder than anybody else on the floor. And
Hmm.
the same kind of mentality that Kobe had. So that's why I'm just like if Kobe would have had another one of him on the team, that six was he 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", basically. And he could go to the rack. He could basically pull up and shoot. He plays great defense and and he hates to lose. Come on now. Kobe would have hung around to get to year 22 if he could have, basically. But he was basically sticking around to play with who? To play with Swaggy P
Swaggy P
and the
and
kids. He,
Robert Sacre and them.
he was
Yeah,
like,
it
I'm
was.
good. I'm cool. Let me go get this. Let me go get this Oscar. You know what I'm saying? He was good on that. But yeah, that's why it matters, man. The pieces matter. We were just talking today. You and I were just talking today about Zach Levine. Do you feel like Zach Levine would be a? I'm trying not to block my Kobe poster in the background right there. Sacrilege. I don't want to block my Kobe poster. But do you feel like Zach Levine if traded to the Lakers, if it's traded to the Lakers, and mind you, Zach Levine makes $40 million this year, I believe. Let me go pull up. Let me pull up the numbers. Let me pull up the numbers. Zach Levine that plays on Chicago. Um, Zach Levine makes 40 million this year, 43 million next year, 45 million the year after that, and
Mhm.
48 million is a player option in 2026. So we're gonna have to give up at least 3 players
Bye,
to get
Austin
Zach.
Reeves. See you later, Austin Reeves. See you, Rui. Mind you, you're gonna have to give up something to get something. Zach Levine is not gonna be cheap.
He
You
obviously
know,
isn't. But before that, just had this is just for it to be said. A lot of times with these garbage teams, a lot of these players have these big contracts because they don't got nobody else to give the money to.
yeah,
I'm just putting that caveat out, and I'm just putting
yeah,
that out there into the system for a, you know, kind of to bring that back to earth. He to me, I mean, but continue, and then I'll say my part about Zach Levine.
man. If I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be like, all right, AD, appreciate you, and let me get DeRozan while I'm at it. Might as well, might as well get it. I got my big. I still got Wood. I still got Jackson Hayes. You know what I mean? Like LeBron got two people he can rely on instead of one big person he can rely on. I split it's still a guard, league. And like I can feel like the way the way I'm giving Darvin Ham these pieces, I feel like that can be a workaround the Nuggets potent offense with KCP and Jamal Murray going off. You know what I mean? I can still throw bodies at Jokic if I need to. I'm gonna have to, but like all right, I feel like I got to fight a chance with DeRozan and Zach Levine on the perimeter. Giving hell,
Okay, okay.
I still might have D'Lo still in the cut.
I'm just looking up this. I'm just looking up the stats for this year. I'm just looking up the stats for this year. Okay, so before I forget,
Okay,
all right, no, let me go over Zach Levine's stats first, and then I'll come back to the AD part of the conversation.
okay,
Um, all right, so I'm not exactly sure how much is he averaging. He's averaging 21 points, 21.3 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Less than one steal, definitely far less than one block. That's what Zach Levine's averaging. He started off with 16 points. He gave you 8. Then he dropped 51 points. He had a 50 burger already this season. Then he had 23, 22, 24, 20, 12, 24. Since that day, he had a 30-point game a few days ago, 30-point game against Orlando. But basically everything else has been just lately. His last 2 games, he's had 13 points.
yeah. What does he
So
got
this
to
is
play for real? Like
I
he's
feel you,
basically saying like, what I'm gonna kill myself to drag us to the play in for what? Like
but
now, if he played with LeBron, man, he's gonna be averaging. He's got no choice but to average 28, and LeBron's gonna let him. LeBron's gonna
I
let him.
I beg to differ. I feel you. I feel you. And Brown would probably welcome a person who wants to score
He got his
and
money
like that.
already. So now
But
go ahead.
with the fact, my bad. He has his money and he has all the stats like that. He wants to win. That's what Brown wants to do. So this is my thought. This is my thing. Um, I don't feel like Zach Levine is consistent enough. He could drop points, but I don't feel like he's like that type of. He's consistent enough to be that kind of dude. Bear with me. Um, right now, like you said, he's not. What is he playing for? But he's there's no besides DeRozan and Vujacic. He's at least the first or the second option offensively on that team, and they're not doing well. The team's not doing well, basically. But at the same time, so if not that many people are in your way, why is he only dropping? He's not consistent to me. He's not consistent to me. Zach Levine. I don't think he's ever been really consistent. I think he gets hurt at least and misses at least. To me, I think significant time. I think at anything over 10 games for the season to me is significant time. He misses significant time every single year, And I just feel like he is not consistent enough. Not saying that he's not good enough to play for the Lakers. I don't think he's consistent enough to, I'm not saying to break up the team. At the same time, to give up Rui and Austin for Zach Levine,
Yeah.
those are two dudes who come out and give you great minutes, give you defense. What does Zach Levine bring into the
So
table?
what are you saying? You
And
saying
and
Zach Levine can't play with LeBron?
I'm not saying that Zach Levine can't
His
play with
game can't
LeBron.
his
I'm
game
saying
can't play
that
with LeBron?
I'm saying that adding that one and subtracting three doesn't help the Lakers. To get
I
him
mean,
on the team, you would have to subtract three, or like you're saying, maybe a AD trade on top of it. I think that that would set the Lakers back years. Personally, I would rather do a Caruso trade than a Zach Levine trade.
how
That's my
old is
that's my
AD? How old is AD?
80's 30, and I'm
AD's
glad you
30. We've
I'm
been
glad you
begging
brought
him
that
for
up.
5
Continue.
years to take the Lakers by the horns, and he don't want it. Zach Levine's probably still in his late 20s, probably like 27, 28, right?
But see, that's the thing.
Man, give him the keys, and he from LA.
Would want
And
it.
he and,
Zach
and he
Levine would want it, and he does it. But I don't feel like Zach Levine is actually has the actually is he'll. I feel like Zach Levine reminds me of Jordan Poole. They want that job, but they don't have the skill for that job. I don't
remember
think like
when
Zach Levine could
all right,
carry the Lakers.
give him motivation. Remember when they read up when they first got Bald Mamba what's his name? He's
Lonzo? No. Oh, Mamba.
no, when they got Lonzo as well, and they got when they had Nurkic, and then when they had dang, his name is slipping from me. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You talking about the Bulls?
yeah, the Bulls, the
Uh huh.
Bulls.
When they had Lonzo, DeRozan,
Yeah,
Nurkic,
yeah. When
um,
Lonzo was healthy,
Levine. Oh,
yeah,
they were
they
playing
had
great. They were
everybody.
playing great.
They
Most of
was
that though, to me, most of that was DeRozan. That wasn't Levine
Nah, yeah,
because
Rosen had
Levine
he
was
had a
hurt
tear. He had a tear.
like he
No,
always gets.
Levine was holding his own too. He was an all star that year. He was an all star that year.
You sure that wasn't just the dunk contest?
Mm,
Mm.
I gotta look it up. I'm pretty sure
I
he
gotta
was an
look it
all
up. I
star
don't
that
know.
year.
I mean, hey, maybe he was an all star. I don't remember Levine being an all star for several years, so maybe he was an all star one year. But at the same time, I'm trying to say that sometimes you have a guy who has a big name, but they basically all but they shine in teams that don't got no kind of aspirations. Then
All
you
right,
put them on a team that actually has aspirations, they fold like paper. I'm just like, let Levine let's see how Levine is when he basically gets into a situation where it's just like
who's more
we
talented,
gotta win this game.
Who's more talented, Austin Reeves or Zach Levine?
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna front and not say that
So so
Zach Levine. I'll say this, Zach, that's a loaded question because Zach Levine is obviously more athletic than Austin Reeves, but who has a bigger basketball IQ and may
who's more
can distribute
talented?
the ball?
Who's a more talented basketball player? Zach
Who's a more
Levine,
talented basketball player? I mean,
overall basketball player. Who would you have? Who would you rather have? You shouldn't take this long. Come on now, you know the answer.
I'm trying to I'm trying to make sure that my answer, even though it would probably be controversial, is gonna basically it makes sense. I'm just making sure that in my brain when I say that I'd rather have Austin Reeves than Zach Levine, and that's basically with this caveat.
When last time
I'm not saying that
When last time Austin Reeves put up 51 in a
Austin
pinch?
Reeves has a need to
In
put
a
up
pinch.
51.
Yeah,
How many times
we could have used it in the playoffs last year.
when's the last time Zach Levine hit a three-pointer to win a game?
That's a,
That's what I'm saying.
that's one little
Austin
instance. Like,
Austin Reeves is more clutch.
wait,
He
did he?
sees the
I'm pretty sure he got that ball handed like passed to him to hit the
but he hit
shot.
the shot.
That's what I'm
But he hit
saying.
the
Zach
shot.
Levine could do it off
He
the
didn't have to take
bounce if he need to. He
he
can get his bucket. He can get his bucket. Say if Donovan Mitchell going off, you really think Austin Reeves is gonna go off, match him bucket for bucket? No. I'd rather have I have more faith in Zach Levine going off, matching somebody bucket for bucket. I have more faith in DeRozan going off, matching somebody bucket for bucket than Rui.
I'm
Like you gotta feed Rui. You gotta butter the ball up, put it on a silver platter, and hope that he make it. Man, what?
you're not watching the kind of ball that I was watching last year. You're not watching the kind of ball that I was watching last year. Because but Rui and Austin were basically like 50% from the field, 3-pointers or driving to the hole. And and like I'm saying, I wouldn't mind if we had to get rid of one of them to get Zach Levine. But I'm just thinking that Zach Levine is not worth minusing from the team Rui and Austin, who were big parts of the team and team chemistry. To
All
have to
right.
bring a whole new dude into the team, and basically, who knows what this dude is right now? My man has a
Question.
game time decision on his
Question.
because of foot injury
Question.
already.
Who's a better player, Rui or PJ Tucker?
Rui,
Get
you
out.
telling
Get
me
out
that
of here.
PJ Tucker
You
is
saying so you say
considered a
all right, all
good
right.
basketball
So
player
who would you rather have on your team, Rui
besides
or PJ
defense?
Tucker? Who would you rather have on your team, Rui or PJ Tucker?
I'd rather have Rui on my team. Because
Man,
Rui
all
was out
right.
there playing defense against big dudes all day, and he was hitting threes from all over the place.
Rui's not
Right
you
now,
talking about
PJ,
Rui like he run our test.
when's the
He
last
not
time
even like
PJ
run
Tucker
our
was
test.
actually hot
Like what's
from the
one thing
floor?
Rui does good? Name one thing.
He could shoot the three. He could drive to the hole. My man is built like LeBron James
Everybody
with a
can shoot
wide
the three. Everybody can shoot the three.
wingspan.
Everybody can
No,
shoot the
everybody
three.
can't shoot from three. Everybody can't shoot from three. That's the thing. Everybody can't shoot from three. Right now, PJ Tucker is not shooting well from three. If he shoots the ball. I'm just like that's a bad comparison. PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker
He
is one
basically
of the corner three
PJ,
gods. What do you mean? Like this
but he
man be
don't but he's not shooting it very amazingly lately. And basically right now, only thing that people are using him for is
but
defense.
you got him. He got a big sample size though. Rui, he still got like he got a moderate sample size, and it's still not enough.
Rui is in a situation like Zach Levine is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing Rui to Zach Levine. Zach Levine is a star, is a quote unquote star. He's not a superstar. He's a
But the
star.
thing
He's a
is,
well-known person. He's very, very athletic. He can score, but he can score drop buckets, quote unquote at will. But at the same time,
LeBron.
I feel like he's not consistent enough to be like, let me gut half my team to bring Zach
I
Levine
mean,
in, and the next
at
thing you
this
know,
point, LeBron needs ballers. Like he's at this stage in his career where he don't need no Rui. Let's see what you can do like throughout how you can develop throughout the season. No, he needs some. All right, I know what DeRozan can do. I know what Zach Levine can do. All right, ride with me. Like he
you know
needs
what
those
LeBron
players.
needs.
We're not on that type of time where Rui need to develop and Austin Reeves need to take a leap. No, it's not that type of time right now.
You know what LeBron James needs. Dudes is going to go out there and play basketball, and get some dirt and clean up some dirty plays. Plain and simple. Who you telling me?
All
Okay,
right,
so the ball's rolling on the floor right now. Somebody's running for the ball. Who you think's going to get there first? Austin Reeves or Zach Levine?
exactly.
You think Zach Levine?
He's more athletic. What you mean?
Athleticism has nothing to do with basically
All right,
that to need to.
all right. I'm gonna counter
I'm
with this one. All right, let me
and
counter with
and
this.
trust me when I say,
So,
because I love Lonzo, but I still supported the AD trade. If we basically when you talking about a trade, I think that definitely a player of a certain level is worth getting rid of several players for.
how
I
many
completely
times?
understand that.
How many
Zach Levine
times?
ain't AD.
How many times we gonna watch a game when we're down or we're like struggling to get over the hump, and LeBron's the only option we can look to all right to make something happen? I'm tired of seeing that because Austin Reeves ain't doing that. He ain't like give me the ball, get out of my way. Come on now, like let's get real. I know DeRozan would. I know Zach Levine would. Let's not be blasphemous. Act like DeRozan is not him. Like let's not do that. Like let's not
See,
act like
this is
DeRozan like when
this is
in
the thing.
Toronto giving people buckets. Come on now.
This is the thing. Um, don't get me wrong. Zach Levine and DeRozan are definitely more prolific scorers than Austin Reeves or Rui.
which we need.
We need a rebound.
We got
Who's gonna
enough
go?
rebounders.
Who going? No, no, we don't. We don't. AD
Eh,
is the only dude rebounding. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna get rid
sometimes,
of. You ready to
sometimes we
get
can get another sometimes
when
player.
when has when has AD ever ever not giving you great defense, even if he decides to drop 15. So he could drop 15 and he's still gonna have 6 blocks and 15 rebounds. And
Would you
if he drops 15 points, y'all ready to hang the man and burn him in effigy.
would
But
you
at the
trade
same time,
AD? Would you trade AD for Trey Young and Clint Capella?
hell no.
You bugging. You bugging.
For an old man and a dude who don't play no defense and sometimes it's
You
cold
bugging.
too. That's
You
what I'm
bugging.
talking about. I'm
You
just like,
bugging.
people is ready to trade the whole entire team for a dude who basically, to me personally, is not consistent enough to do that.
AD,
He's not consistent enough.
AD's not consistent.
No, AD's consistent completely with defense. He's completely consistent with defense. He's, to me right now, the leading defensive player of the year.
Where was that against Jokic? That's all I'm saying. Where was that against Jokic?
I'm not gonna front with you. We didn't have no other big men. So AD was all we had. So basically he
Including
got cooked. So it is what it is. So
including
but
what? Then we get knocked out in. We got knocked out in
so okay, where
four or
was that with
five.
Jokic? So how do you think we're gonna fare without AD? You think Hayes and Christian Wood are gonna play the same kind
Yeah,
of defense that AD
because
plays?
if we trade
You
somebody,
tripping.
if we yeah, because if we trade somebody with a perimeter centric player like Levine or uh DeRozan, we got somebody to match at least one of them and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was the one that killed us. Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying. So
Let's be
what
real.
AD don't have nothing to do with that equation.
Let's be real. And mind you, Tristan Thompson was kind of giving him some Jokic to work a little bit when he had burn. We had some burn last year.
And then
Like,
again,
let's
I
be
say,
real. We got bodies to throw at Jokic.
I
Like,
got you.
we just need
But
somebody to match because D'Lo went
Jamal
cold.
Murray,
Who else did we go to? Who else
we
could
didn't
we go
have
to?
nobody else. We didn't have a
Exactly.
defender.
Rui couldn't
But
get
at the
it
same,
done. Austin
so
Reeves
you
couldn't
telling
get it
me,
done. They had
so
the opportunities. They couldn't get it done.
I got you. So, but what you're telling me is that DeRozan or Levine are going to be able to lock up the Murray.
Yeah.
Not
Not
going
they
to
don't
happen.
gotta lock it. They can match him bucket for
So
bucket though. They can match him bucket for bucket. They can keep the defense honest. You talking
DeRozan can
about?
match him. DeRozan can
I bet
match
you
him
Aaron
bucket for
Gordon
bucket.
is not outscoring. I bet you Aaron Gordon is not outscoring Zach Levine. I bet you Michael Porter Jr. is not outscoring Zach. KCP is not
I will
outscoring
tell
Zach
you right
Levine
now that Aaron Gordon will wake up in the morning and start doing push-ups, waiting
in
to
the Western
play
Conference
Zach
Championship.
Levine in the
He's not
playoffs on
outscoring
GP
Levine or
alone.
DeRozan.
No,
No,
I would rather. This is what I'm trying to say. I would rather have. We could have this whole entire conversation that we having right now. If you switch Levine and say DeRozan, I will take Zach. I will take DeRozan, even though he shoots. He doesn't really shoot threes. He shoots threes very seldom. I would take. I'd say that DeRozan is far more consistent than Zach Levine. I would say
and
that
my
he's
thing
far more
about three
consistent.
point shooters too, like some stars they can get away with it. There are a lot of stars that are not great 3 point shooters, but the thing that made them great about it though, they hit them threes when they needed to. They hit those threes when they needed to. Like, come on now,
Mm,
they hit those threes when they need to.
no, listen, listen.
Is
I
Jimmy a
get you.
great 3 point shooter? Is
It's
he
who,
fantastic? No.
who,
Is Jimmy?
who you talking about?
Is Jimmy a great 3 point shooter? No.
No,
DeRozan's not a great 3 point shooter, but I see him
no.
make them threes when he
But
needs
he
to
can shoot
though.
threes. He can shoot threes. I'm just saying that basically, as far as being a more consistent shooter. I'm just like this. I feel like Zach. It's a different thing when you've been playing at a BS team for years and years and years, and then you decide to come to the Lakers, and every single three counts. Every
But
single shot counts.
he was on
The
Toronto.
pressure bust pipes, pressure bust those pipes. DeRozan, I say he's basically he would be great. I say he'd be great. I don't think that he'd be good defensively. I don't think I don't know. I don't think DeRozan's a great defensive player, but I don't think
Um,
you have to be because you basically have other people. That's like Ruby. I mean, Reeves is not a amazing defensive player at all, but he makes good basketball decisions and he'll run after loose balls and he'll put his body in front for a charge. Those are the kind of plays that win championships. And I don't know if Levine or DeRozan are going to do it. You know, one person that's on the team that would do it, Caruso. And that's the only person that I would be like, all right, cool, I'll go ahead and do that. Number one, another thing too about that whole entire conversation, we're going to get ourselves right back into the whole Russell Westbrook situation where we have three players making 40 million plus on a team and we have no money for nobody else. We would basically be getting rid of three people that are heavily in our rotation to get one guy who might not be as consistent as we would hope they would be under the bright lights and will get hurt probably 2 weeks after you get him. That's why I'm out on the
my
Levine
thing
trade.
is,
That's just
my thing
my
is,
thoughts.
my thing is, AD is worth both of those contracts combined, and he's like, that's one player that you pretty much relying on all that. Give me somebody else that's more effective, plus another one for
See,
half that
you
price.
you have just for the 2 years that I've known you, you have just been anti AD. You just basically have been anti AD, and it's just like I'm just like, dude, I get you. It's disappointing when he gets hurt or whatever, or gets dinged up, or somehow has a game where he has like 12 points and 12 rebounds and and four blocks or something like that. And you're just like, he's a bum, trade him. And I'm just like, dudes do that all day and nobody calls for their heads. But because of the fact that he's on the Lakers, that's why he gets a larger spotlight. But I'm just like, this is my whole thing with AD. Who are you gonna trade AD for? Who's gonna give you AD things?
Nobody really wants AD like that for real. Like, let's be
You
real.
don't
Nobody wants
answer that
AD
question.
like that.
Answer that question though, real quick. Answer that question.
Who's gonna give you?
Who are you gonna trade AD for? Who's gonna give you AD things?
I don't need him
Who's
to do
gonna
it.
give you six? Who's gonna give you 26, 13, and 6 blocks?
2 days out of every 7 games. You mean 2 out of every
I'm
seven
waiting.
games?
I'm waiting. No, not two out of say eight.
There's
Let me
only
let me
one
let me
really AD.
let
Like,
me let me. There's only one AD. There's only one AD. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna pull up this dude's
just
name.
because he's the
I want
only
to
one
see what
doesn't
he's
mean
doing right
like
now.
just because he's the only one doesn't mean like you have to make an option. That's like going to McDonald's, looking at the dollar menu, and you're like, nah, you're not really feeling none of them. You don't have to spend that dollar. You don't have to like. That's my thing. Like, just because AD is the only option out there doesn't mean he is the option. Like, I think I'd be better off without him.
You think he'd be better? Do you think the
Just trying to,
Lakers would
yeah,
be
trying
better
to
off
trying to
without
spread the
AD?
wealth somewhere else because all that money is going to him.
But see,
We
this is
all
the
got
thing.
movable contracts for everybody else. Movable contracts don't, you know what movable contracts are? Not good players, not good enough players.
Movable contracts, yes, definitely.
They're not
But
good
the
enough
unmovable
players. We got a
contracts
whole
are
bunch of
players that they want to keep.
you see the marketing team of the Los Angeles Lakers. They're not minimum contracts really. They're really not minimum contracts, but they're still movable contracts. You see, like the wordplay, it still means like we still didn't like get the players like we know we need to get to make this team great. We just kept the
But
ones that did something last year.
But see, this is the problem. No team has five superstars on it. You have to have role players. You need bench players. And those are the people who basically get those movable contracts. You basically keep them as long as you need them, and and you could use them as a chip to trade and get something else, no problem. But at the same time, you still have to replace those players, those great players that you basically gave up. Just like what did Harden. You see how long it took for them to basically readjust after they lost all those players that they gave up to get Harden. All those dudes basically, even though they were 5 million here, 10 million there, whatever it was, basically for their contracts, they still did work. Even though they wasn't like household names, they still did work. They still actually played defense. When Harden ain't playing no defense, they're still doing things. They're going and getting offensive rebounds. They're going and diving for loose balls. Those are the things that actually win championships and actually win games. But but you can't just be completely focused on, the quote unquote points is the only thing that people really want to focus on. Let me just run down AD's scores for the whole for the um his stats for the year right now. Um right now he's averaging 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists and 3 blocks. I want to know who else is
22,
basically I want to know who else is basically doing
22,
that.
11, 3. I mean, those are nice numbers. Like, but like he's supposed to be what top what big man top three big man in the league, if that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Man, Timberwolves is what number one in the West right now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They got two dudes doing the work that AD does by himself.
um,
So, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's
and then
not
and then
enough.
but they're not doing it.
It's
It's
not
it
enough.
is what is not enough.
It's not enough. AD is not enough. He's not it. But I want to transition to something else though. Your
We
favorite
go we,
player, yo,
we got
basically, yo, baby brother, Tyrese Maxey. Like, I wanted to get your take on him though, because like this man, this man's going off right now. You called it.
absolutely.
You've been calling it for I don't know how long, but yeah, it's always nice when you see a player that you seen, like you knew it was gonna come up, and then he's just comes up. I know it's
Mhm.
gotta be a good feeling.
Absolutely. My man's balling out. My
It's
man's
like
balling out.
listening to an undercover artist, and then when they go mainstream, it's like, yeah, I was on him before you was on him. Like yeah,
Yeah, like I mean, it's like when like back in the day, you had the Source magazine and you open it up and dudes have 5 mics and you ain't never heard of them. You're like, oh, who's this? Like, okay, undercover artist, no doubt. Whatever. Yo, yeah, absolutely. Tyrese Maxey is balling out this year. I'm glad that I mean, it wasn't like I basically like knew him from college, nothing like that. I just saw him maybe in his second year, or I mean it was his rookie year. And I was like, you know what? He's playing pretty good, you know what I'm saying? So I held on to him in my fantasy league, you know what I mean? And he worked out for me. I saw his work ethic. He basically lived in the gym. They had to throw him out the gym pretty much every single day. So I'm glad that he's doing what could do. And without I knew that basically all he needed was to have Harden out of his way. Sometimes you just got to get rid of other people, to you have a young player and you have a veteran player who basically has earned the starting role, you know what I mean? And it's respect. Of course, Harden has earned respect the starting role over Maxi, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
at the
he
same
top
time,
75.
sometimes for the young player to really evolve and really flourish, they gotta get that start. And they're not gonna get that kind of work unless they really unless they really get that opportunity. So I'm glad that he got that opportunity. He's balling out of control right now. What do you think about
Yeah,
him?
I don't know. I just feel like the Knicks be missing out on some players. That's my thing. Like when the last time, like the Knicks, I like RJ Barrett's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know
RJ Barrett was the concession,
consensus.
the
Like the
the he
consolid. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
um what's the
consolation.
word?
He's a
The
consolation
consolation
prize.
prize. He was a
Yeah,
consolation prize from the Zion
yeah.
draft. Basically, they was like, damn, we can't get
Dang,
Zion.
wasn't John Collins
All
in that
right, go
draft
ahead and
though?
get what's the name? Was
Wasn't
John
John
Collins in
Collins
that
in that
draft?
draft though? Cause like,
I honestly don't remember where John Collins even came from, honestly.
dang,
Personally. He's another dude who basically is getting paid a whole lot of money for not being that great because he was with a bad team and they just had money to give to him. Mm. You know?
no,
I
there's a
mean,
lot of
but
money going around though.
it's
So
not,
it's
I
like you
mean,
got to
they
spend
got
it.
it.
You can't take
They
it
got to
with you.
pay it. They
So
got to pay. They got to pay. They got to pay players. I mean, plain and simple. And it's not just
I
like,
mean, Darius Garland was in that draft. Like Like
That was a
Tyler Hero
draft right
in that
there.
in that draft, Jordan
Mm.
Poole was in that draft. Like there were people in that draft, like instead of RJ Barrett. But I get it though. Like he was supposed to be that guy, like going in, but you know.
What do you think of What do you think of Jordan Poole right now?
Oh, I think he needs a. I don't know. He's wilding though. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. He just haven't been the same. I don't know. Maybe it's the money.
Mm.
I thought he was
You
gonna be
think?
more humble than this because it wasn't like he was Jordan Poole like right out the gate. He had to like earn his minutes like, and it came from a fortuitous situation when when Klay Thompson went down, and they went through those 2 years of mediocrity just so everybody can get right and get healthy. They
Mm-hmm.
threw away those
Mm-hmm.
2 years, so they let everybody else get some burn. They had I don't know, they had oh man, they had a few players, just trying to
Kaminga,
get burned, and
Wiseman,
then what you said?
Kaminga, Wiseman.
Oh, I think yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had
But
those
Jordan
players, and
Poole got his
they was a.
opportunity and he showed out. He took advantage of it. So I feel like,
Mhm,
all right, he knows what it's like to, just come up and have not have opportunities given to you. So I thought
mhm.
he would value it. Now it just seems like he's kind of squandering it.
I feel you. Um, do you think he was ready to be the leader of a team,
Um,
or to have his quote unquote own team? Like, who do you think should be the leader of that team?
I mean, personally, Kuz, because like he was there before him. He was the incumbent and he's been putting in work. Kuz ever since Kuzma went to went to the Wizards, he's been balling out of control.
Hmm.
I feel like he can be a staple there if they really want to build around Kuz.
Exactly. I think that well, I feel personally that sooner or later Kuz is going to basically want to go back out into the market and try to get himself another ring. I think that after you done won a championship with Braun, this not doing nothing in Washington ain't gonna be enough for you. To me personally, I don't think that. I think they and I don't. I mean, hey, some teams is this they're just not gonna. I don't think there's just some teams this is not gonna do enough for you to basically really really vie for a championship. You feel
Do
me?
you think do you think that ever since the Lakers got rid of everybody, all the young bloods, and then they started flourishing in their own way, you think in hindsight they should have just kept them and then grew them like that? Or do you think that if they hadn't like left the team, they wouldn't have had that opportunity to like just grow into
I
themselves?
I think two things happen. I think that if they all stayed there, um, yeah, two things. If they all stayed there, I don't know if they would have gotten enough motivation to say, let's go win a championship. I don't know because sometimes you have to have that force pushing you, at least somebody who's been on the team for so long, who is just like, I'm done with this shit. I
Hmm.
need to win a championship. I don't, they were all so young that I don't think that it would have took a long time of being bad for them to basically get to that point. So, I think that that would have been one thing if they were all there. But due to the fact that LeBron came to, um, it might have helped to push them closer to that. But the AD trade was right there,
Yeah.
and so they decided to go with that,
You know how
and it
nice it would
worked.
have been
And it
though,
worked out, and they won a championship. So it is what it is. But everybody else dispersed. Say what? What you was
pre
gonna say?
LeBron trade. You know how nice it would have been now if we hadn't shipped out D'Lo because of that Swaggy P incident. We should have just kept the young boys and just stuck through the boo boo years. I'm telling you,
I,
we would have been there right now.
I
We
was
would
looking
have been
forward
there
to
right
it. I was looking forward to it, but I think that I don't know if we would have been any closer than Sacramento
now.
is
Julius would
right
have gave you
now.
20 and 10. Big Julius would have gave you 20 and 10. Come on now. He was an
Yeah,
all-star.
we
Like he
possibly
gave
would
you
have maybe still had Zubac.
Man, we would have had Zubac too.
He possibly would have still had Zubac in the middle.
Zubac
Zoe,
in the
hope
middle,
maybe
Big
Zoe,
Julius at the
maybe Zoe
4,
would have been her healthy. Say what?
and we would have had Ingram at the 3, and we would have had Kuzma at the 3, Ingram at the 2,
But who
Lonzo
you?
at the
Let
1.
me ask you a question though.
What?
There has to be a star. Who do you think would have been the star?
Oh,
That
that's a
dude.
good
Who do
question.
you think would have been that dude? Because you could talk about playing games and winning, or winning and getting into the playoffs. Yeah, we would have probably made the playoffs. But who would have been that dude to win a championship? You have to have that dude. You have to have a
Lonzo.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Lonzo still would have
Lonzo.
been the star. He still would have been the star. I feel like it still could have worked out. Cause look, think about
I mean,
this.
he would have been.
It's not begging to be the star really like that in New Orleans. Zion, everybody knows Zion's still the star, even though he hadn't been playing for as long as like people. But people are not claiming like, yeah, Ingram's the star of New Orleans.
No,
No, he's still
exactly.
not. He's
He's
still
still
not.
not the star.
I
No,
mean,
no, Ingram is still
Kuzma
not the
was
star.
okay with just being him. Like, think about this: Kuzma out of the last few people when we blew that whole that young core up. Kuzma was the last person we kept.
I think Kuzma. I honestly, personally, I feel that maybe. I mean, Ingram would have been cool, but I think Kuzma would have been bigger. Would have been bigger than him.
I
I
think
think
Kuzma would have
Kuzma.
been the heart of the team.
I
I
think
think
Kuz would
Kuzma would have
definitely
been
have
the
been the
heart of
heart
the
of the
team.
team. Kuz
Yeah,
definitely would have been the heart of the team, and that's why they kept Kuz
he
personally.
low key still
But
was when
but
Go ahead.
no, I was my bad, my bad. Yeah, he low key still was, even though when Braun came, people still loved Kuz. But this is the thing, and this is why. Sorry, this is why I'm saying that it's nuanced, because for all of those dudes to be what they are right now, they had to leave the team away from Braun. They couldn't sit for a star to truly, just like Maxi, for Maxi to truly become Maxi. He couldn't be sitting behind a, a star like Harden, because they basically both playing the same position. You know what I mean? So you know, Lonzo, I think I was looking forward to seeing Lonzo next to Braun. I was just like, oh, Braun, that's exactly what Braun wants. Braun wants a point guard that he won't have to worry about dishing the ball. I saw that first season, that season before LeBron got hurt and pulled the hammy in the Christmas game with Lonzo. I saw Lonzo and Braun coming up with a double double easy in
Didn't they
assists.
both have a triple double that game too?
Son, I was just like, yo, I was just like, this is basically the future. I mean, but he is just like, I don't know if Ingram would have become Ingram with Braun there. I don't know if Kuzma definitely wouldn't be Kuz right now if if he was still on the team with Braun. He had to
True,
leave to be
true.
his own. So with that being said, just like Poole needed to leave to figure out himself. But at the same time, I feel like he's going into it with the wrong mindset. I feel like he's going into it with a swaggy P type of mindset, that like
Yeah,
this like
yeah,
it's a circus. Like, this is all fun
yeah.
and games. Nobody has high expectations. And that's why I feel that sooner or later Kuz is not gonna feel it. He's here to get his money. He gonna take his money every single day, fold it up, thank you, put it in his pocket every single day. He's gonna get his money, but sooner or later he's gonna want to compete at a high level again. And I don't think Poole is ready to lead in the way that he needs to. I personally think that maybe it's the way that they structure the team. I don't know how many minutes, who starts. Like, I thought Tyus Jones was going to maybe be the point guard and Poole would be the shooting guard, but I don't know. I kind of feel like Poole's like the point guard.
I don't know.
I feel like it's not set right. I mean, the coach is not a coach that basically you have that much expectation from anyway. So it's just like, we gonna
It's
see. But I
it,
yeah,
it's too early to going through the motions. It's too early to be going through We're not even we're not 25 games in the
we're
season.
not even 20 games in, man. We
Yeah,
just we
we
14
going through
games
the
in.
motions. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Like when you already have your money, it's like, all right, their end of the bargain is already like met. Like it's now you to be responsible and like show up and do your job.
Right, right, exactly. But all right, yo, let's move on a little bit to the teams, just overall NBA teams. So there's some teams that basically are, uh, I would like to believe overachieving. I would state it as overachieving, like the Timberwolves, being all the way number one in the whole entire Western Conference. What are some teams that you feel are basically going to come back down to earth sooner or later? East Coast or West Coast? Some teams that the Pacers right now are sixth in the West, in the East. Orlando Magic is fifth in the East. In the East, you know what I'm saying? And so I mean, it's like, do I believe that the Pacers might stay up there? I believe the Pacers are going to stay in the hunt. But do you think the Magic is going to stay in the hunt for the playoffs? I mean, in the hunt meaning like they're going to stay in the hunt, or you think that sooner or later they're going to start to taper off?
I feel like the Magic, they got potential to, because like right now the East, I feel like the East is a little softer than the West, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's more opportunity to get to 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 make some noise, because I feel like at some point the Heat, they're gonna have to they're gonna I feel like they're just gonna crumble under the weight of the season because they don't have that much talent to get them through the dog days. People are gonna start them injuries are starting to hurt a little bit worse and worse, and you might have to get some time off here and there. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like they don't have enough to limp. They barely made it out of the playing last year. They were the last seed in the playing.
Who,
They had to
Miami?
win. Yeah, they had to win 2 games
Mhm.
to make it to the AC. Yeah, so I feel
And
like
they fought hard, hard. That's why I'm just
they
like,
fought
yo,
hard.
you can't count out Jimmy. Personally, I take Jimmy over Levine any day and 5 times on Sunday, son. Let's talk to the Heat. I'll give up Rui and AR and whoever else they want. I will give all that up for Jimmy. I'll do
You
that for
got to throw
Jimmy.
in AD.
It's a what's the name? You can't
You'd have to throw in AD.
can't what's the point? What's the point? What's
Otherwise,
the point?
I'm hanging up the phone.
That's because you just anti AD, man. It's
No, it's
okay to
not
say.
that.
It's
It's
all right.
like
It's all
I'm
right.
pretty sure Pat Riley's not gonna go for it. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna go for it.
He's not gonna go for the whole for Jimmy being gone. I'll tell you that much. That's not gonna happen. He's not gonna get rid of his one piece.
Give me
That's the
Tyler
one
Hero
piece he got
over
left.
Austin Reeves.
What Tyler Hero over
Give
Austin
me
Reeves?
Tyler
See,
Hero.
now you
Yeah,
just
give me
basically
Tyler
drinking
Hero
the
over Austin
Kool-Aid.
Reeves.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. Nah, nah, nah. Ooh, I can't wait to see that one another day. I want to see that. I want to see that matchup. Um, y'all sleeping on AR. I'm not saying that he no world beater that he gonna basically drop like 50 on somebody, but at the same time, basketball is a difference. The difference between basketball and football is the fact that you got to play both ways. And that's the kind of things that made Kobe Bryant great. That's the kind of things that made Michael Jordan great. That not only was they going to basically, go out there and drop points, but they was going to really actually D up their player. Reeves, not saying that he's not no, dude who's gonna D up and lock anybody down, but at least he tries. I I mean
Tries.
I
Trying is not a skill. That's what I'm talking
listen,
about.
listen,
Like
listen,
trying
listen.
is not a skill. Like effort,
When's the last
like
time Hero locked anybody up?
effort only gets you so far.
When's the last time Hero actually locked somebody up? Who you think plays better defense? AR or Hero?
When motivated, Hero, give me the ball.
Motivation. AR don't need no motivation. He comes through with motivation every single day, and that's basically what to me makes AR a better player. But hey, we're gonna leave that one behind. What do you think you think the Minnesota Timberwolves are gonna hold on to that top spot, or you think sooner or later they're gonna slide back
Oh
down
no,
when
I
other
think
players?
they for real. I think they got the pieces they need. Look, hear me out, because I feel like,
Yeah.
all right, I think everybody knows what they need to do this year, especially with Cat in particular. I feel like there is no identity crisis with his game at the moment. I feel like now he slots in with Rudy Gobert and they're making it work. But the thing is, Ant Man, I think he's gonna have he's gonna go for the MVP this year. I don't think he's gonna win it. I think he's gonna be in the conversation this year. I think he has that type of potential.
Agreed. I think that he definitely will be in the conversation. I'm not sure if he'll actually win. I mean, even if he has a team in the number one spot, he would have to be leading the team, leading the league, and scoring on top of it to really, really be in that conversation. But he's doing the damn thing. He's definitely helping them to be everything that they could be. Um, and the team has beat some real teams. I'm not saying that basically they beat nobodies. You know what I mean? They beat the Warriors twice.
Yeah.
Caveat: they've had some injuries.
They gotta work
But at
on
the
their
same,
hands though. That's one thing they do. They gotta work on their hands. Your big man can't be getting in the chokehold. That can't happen. That can't happen. Can't be blindsided. You gotta keep your head on a swivel. Where was
I
your
just want to
antennas?
I
Where
just want
was
to
your
know,
antennas? Like,
when since did Rudy Gobert, when did Rudy Gobert become on site to everybody in the league? He on site for everybody. Like everybody is just like everybody lining up to give him to catch
cause he
for
light
him to catch a
skinned.
fade.
Cause he light skinned and he's
That
skinny.
that
And he's skinny. See? He a target. I know what it is.
why- you know
I know what it is. I can
for
I can I
first hand experience, bro.
first hand experience, man. Shoot. First hand experience.
Ah, son.
Yeah.
Nah. No, but they beat the Warriors twice. They beat the Pelicans twice. They beat the Celtics. They beat the Nuggets. I mean, they out here doing the Lord's work,
Yeah.
low key. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
But they lost to the Raptors, they lost to the Hawks, and they lost to the Suns. I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you lose to teams that you're supposed to win, and you basically beat teams you play above you. You
And it's
play
still early.
to
It's
the what's
still
name.
early.
I'm not saying that I basically completely believe in the team, but hey, I feel like they'll be in there. Let's just say this: we had to play them to get into the playoffs.
I like the Kings this year though.
Oh no, the Kings are on demon time right now, bro.
I like the
The
Kings
Kings are
this year.
the Kings are like, who else want more Debo? They will knock you out and knock your mama out too. Plain and simple. My man De'Aaron Fox is here for no games. He's here for no games, and they right now are on a. Oh, they lost. Who did Sacramento lose to? I thought they was on like a 6 game win streak just now. The Kings. Since what's name came back, but anyway, it's okay. It's okay. Um, I think definitely. I think although I was some teams I feel like are gonna come back down. I'm not sure, completely sure about the Mavericks. I feel like I
You
don't.
know, we didn't
But
mention the Suns either. So how you like
I haven't
they've
seen
been
all three
banged
of
up.
those dudes on the bench. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
They've
They've
been
been
on the
banged
bench.
up.
Yeah, we've seen them on the bench. Yeah, we've
I've
seen
seen
them
him
on
on
the
the
bench.
bench.
All right. Yeah.
I haven't seen him on. I haven't seen all three of them. It's either Beal, it's either Booker and KD, or
Hmm.
Beal and KD.
Hmm.
I haven't seen all three of them. So I need to see all three of them, and I need to see them actually play some defense. They're gonna drop points all day long, but at the same time, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna play consistent enough defense to be able to stop nobody. You know what I mean? So teams like the Lakers, who can play defense but maybe not score as much, can beat those teams because they could play defense and stop you, and they could keep you to like 117 and maybe drop 120 themselves. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
that's basically, I mean, a win is a win. That's what it comes down to. But I feel like the Thunder and the Timberwolves are going to be in the playoffs this year to stay. Um, but
My surprising team though is
yeah,
Memphis. Like my surprising team is Memphis. I didn't expect them to come out the gate this flat though. I didn't expect
true.
that. They look horrible right now. They look like the Rockets right now, and that's not good company you want to be in. And I'm not even sure. I'm not even they man. I'm not sure they can beat Charlotte. I'm not even sure they can beat. I'm not even sure they can beat Detroit. Like they just look bad right now. I understand Jaw's not there, but they still got quality pieces. I know Steven Adams is out, but D Rose can
Steven
make something shake.
Adams. It's another thing, and that's another thing. Steven Adams, every single year that man gets hurt, but I always feel like Steven Adams is like a great player that they just keep missing every single year. I think when Ja comes back, they should be all right, but it just doesn't seem like the team's chemistry is the way it used to be. You know what I mean? Everything just seems off, and it's just like, do you blame Ja for that whole situation? I don't know. I wouldn't say that specifically, but at the same time, it's definitely a flat tire. It's definitely a flat tire. They're trying to get over that hump basically. So, but yo, so before we end off, So what do you before I get to my last topic on the NBA, what do you feel about how do you feel about the Lakers right now? We in sixth place in the West Coast. We 2 games above 500. I'll take it.
Not to be an AD hater, I just feel like we need to make a move. It just we just need to make a move that puts us over the top, and I just feel like we've done what we can with the pieces that we have at the moment.
Hmm. Okay. And what if we win the championship this year? You still gonna be ready to trade AD? Yeah, you will.
I mean, yeah, at that point, because he's just another year older. You know what I mean?
So you're older. He's just wasting space. I feel you, sir. All right. So before we finish up on on the NBA today, I want you to we're gonna have a top five. I want you to name your top five centers of all time.
Name my top 5 centers of all time.
Yeah, top five centers all
Oh
time.
man,
NBA centers.
okay,
Not
yeah.
no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Real NBA centers.
Oh, my number one is Shaq. Then I already got my number two, Jokic, and I got my number. Are we doing current? I mean, are we doing? I can do it. Okay,
All
everywhere. Okay, I was
time.
just making
All
sure.
time.
Okay, I was just making sure. Now, nah. I mean,
You can start over. You whatever you want.
no.
Whatever you want.
I
It's
mean,
your team. Your list.
can I put Kevin Garnett as center, even though he's like plays power forward too?
He would have been a PF slash slash C.
Okay, thank you. All right, and
Yeah.
then Dirk.
Okay.
That's
So
my
that
guy.
was Shaq, um, Jokic,
Yep, Dirk.
Dirk. Dirk ain't no center.
But you said KG. But you said if KG
Yeah,
can play
but
center too.
KG is a center.
That's why I put Dirk because I asked too.
Dirk is a
I
big
asked
ass
too.
small forward.
Okay, okay. Straight up centers then. Straight up centers.
Real centers.
All right, all
Bang in
right,
the
all right.
court, bang in the middle centers.
All right, I got Shaq. I got Jokic. I got Embiid because that's
Hmm.
my dog. All right, I've been skipping this one, but I got to put Zaza. That's my guy. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. That's a personal favorite of mine.
Vujicic?
Zaza. No, man. Zaza Pachulia.
Zaza. Oh,
Pachulia.
Zaza Pachulia. I'm
Yeah,
like
he dirty.
Zaza.
Everybody call him dirty. I don't
I haven't
care.
heard
That's
him.
my guy. He's been my guy. I got a Zaza Pachulia jersey still
Okay.
to this day. To this day.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
and I
agree
got
with
Hakeem.
you.
That's it. And then I got
Haki-
Hakeem. That's it.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's the that definitely is Shaq definitely my number one. Hakeem's my number two. Hakeem Olajuwon. That man,
Over Jokic, that's
he can
tough. That's tough.
absolutely.
That's tough.
Let Jokic basically pull up with the two with the double the back to back championships with the defensive player of the year and the MVP. When he
You
does
gotta
that,
win too.
I mean, I'm saying, son, that's what West Hakeem, the dream, was doing. My man was pulling up with the defensive player of the years and the MVP with the back to back
All
championships.
right, so he
And
gotta
he
win
was killing
two.
it.
All right, he gotta win two at least.
He got to
That's what
win
you're saying.
too. I'm just basically saying that was his level. So basically, Hakeem's here, Jokic is here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Plain and simple. I'm honestly, I'm not even putting Jokic up there. I might have some other ones. Let me think. Let me think.
I'm
So I got
sorry.
Shaq.
I know I don't want to stall this. I know you want to keep it pushing, but I gotta ask you this: put Jokic on that Rockets team instead
I
of
mean,
Hakeem.
they're both great players.
I
They're
mean,
both
you think they still winning
put
too
Jokic. Um,
on that Rockets team?
is Jokic locking up anybody on defense like how Hakeem locked up Ewing? It would you so who basically would so I mean
Is Hakeem giving you 19 assists, 15 assists?
he didn't have to.
I'm
Is
saying
Jamal
though.
Murray giving up 415 assists? Braun gets more assists than other people on his team because he's the point guard. Jokic is their point guard. Jamal Murray ain't basically getting double doubles with assists every single game. Jokic basically is the distributor. He's the de facto distributor like LeBron is.
Put
So
Jimmy on that Knicks team with Melo. Are they winning the chip with him and Jr. and Shump
I'm about to say
and Amari
when did they go to the when did they
and
get to the
Amari?
finals?
When they was playing the Heat, they was
And
nice
who did
that
and
in
who I'm about to
2000,
say who did
that
they play?
2012, 2010, 2014, 13 span. Like, man, it was nice. Put Jimmy on that team with Melo and Amari and Lynn
I
and
mean, it would have
Chandler.
been good. They'd have been good. They'd been good. Hey, listen, I've seen so many amazing teams go to the playoffs and flamed and burnt out.
They not you,
Teams that you thought was going to basically be world beaters, number ones in the whole entire in the league, get mashed out by 8 seeds, get mashed out by 7 seeds. I mean, you could be a great regular season player, but when you get to the playoffs, it's a whole nother conversation. You on 0-0, plain and simple. So whoever, no matter what wins you had, I mean, it sounds good on paper.
man, they
Mello
would have
and
gotten over
Jimmy
the
and
hump. They
everybody,
would.
everything like that. That would
You
have been
saying
great.
they wouldn't
That
have
would
got
have been
over the
great.
hump?
I'm not
They
saying that they
wouldn't have got
wouldn't
over
have.
the hump against
I'm just
LeBron and the
I'm
Heatles.
I'm not saying that they wouldn't have. I'm just saying that plain and simple. I need to see it before I just go ahead and say, "Oh yeah, they would have won the championship." I mean, dude. I mean, who? I mean, yeah, you would have had Melo. He would have been shooting. You have Jr. basically shooting. Hey,
Amari,
who's paying that? Who's paying that bill? They would have been so
Amari,
far over the salary cap. It would have made no sense. But I mean, hey, yeah, that would have been a hot team. That would have been a crazy team. That would have been a burner. That would have been a burner. You would every single game you would have had to be on court
give
side just to
Jimmy
see
AI,
the
give
madness.
Jimmy AI on that Allen Iverson team in the finals against the Lakers.
I still give it to the Lakers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
See, but that's the
mean,
problem. The thing is this: it's one thing to have 5 great players on the team. You still only have one ball. And certain people are still going to be the go-to. I have never seen a team, except for like maybe say the Detroit Pistons that beat the Lakers. Except for them, I've never really seen a team that basically had an even distribution of points throughout the whole entire thing. Somebody was going to get 30 points, and they usually get that point. They usually get it consistently. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's like you have teams that look great on paper, but at the same time, those teams that look great on paper very rarely actually win because to be a you could be a great player, but at the same time when it comes down to it, do you perform? James Harden is a great player. He gave them barely anything in the in game in the elimination game of the playoffs. With Embiid, he wasn't playing by himself. He wasn't carrying the load by himself. But he basically flamed out. So just because you're a great player, I don't think that basically that automatically just says, okay, go ahead and stamp that championship in their book. That don't make no difference.
but
I've
we're
seen
talking,
plenty of well-rounded teams beat monsters.
but we're talking about Jimmy, Mister Get It Done.
Yeah.
Pause.
And
But yeah,
I'm saying it sounds good, but Jimmy was on plenty of good teams, and their personalities didn't mesh.
but you just
He was on
said if
he
he
was
was with Kobe, they would have got 7.
Kobe and Jimmy would have meshed.
But he
Kobe,
got to the finals
this
with Bam.
this same
What's the
team where you had this same team that right now is the number one in the West. Jimmy was on that team, and what happened? He punked the
man
number one player. He
with no
punked the number
Tyler
one
Hero,
player.
with no Tyler Hero, with Gabe Vincent playing like Gabe Davis right now, but like you know, and Max Struess
Hmm.
and
Yeah, with a bag of chips and
Duncan
a brownie.
Robinson. You know what
He
I'm
took him to the
saying?
finals.
Come on, past the Celtics.
With exactly, that's what I'm saying. You don't need a bunch of great players to go deep into the playoffs or to even succeed in the playoffs. You could basically take this. How many bag full of bums did LeBron drag to the championships games,
Would you want
to
Kawhi
the
or Jimmy?
playoffs?
Would you
Oh,
want Kawhi
Jimmy,
or Jimmy?
Jimmy
J-
every single day
what?
over Kawhi Leonard. We talking about the same Kawhi?
Oh, that's disrespectful.
Consistency. consistency. That's what wins championships. I don't care how
You
great
talking
you
about
are.
Kawhi Leonard that almost took out the Golden State Warriors game 1 before he got in before Zaza took him out.
I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard, who hit a lucky ass shot over
That
a
wasn't luck.
hurt gold over a Sixers team to get into the championship game against the Golden State Warriors and build that and beat that Golden State Warriors team after Clay and KD got hurt and was out for the rest of the
That's not
for the
that
rest of the
wasn't
ball
lucky.
game.
He put just
That
enough
was
touch on it.
luck. It was
I
luck. It
mean,
bounced.
any
It
more
bounced.
touch,
It bounced 5 times, bro.
he
It
put
bounced five
enough
times.
touch on it. Any more touch, it wouldn't have bounced 5 times and would have
Shooter's
clanked off
touch.
the rim. That's what I'm
Shooter's
saying.
touch. Shooter's touch. No problem. At the
Shoot his
same
touch.
time, do you think that Toronto would have beat a fully healthy Golden State team?
No.
No matter how good Jimmy is. I mean, not Jimmy. No matter how good Kawhi is, that doesn't basically mean that that he's gonna be great, basically. But at the same time, Kawhi needed Fred VanVleet and Lowry and Pascal Siakam and what's my man's name? Who played center? What's his name? Damn.
Marc Gasol.
Yeah, Marc Gasol too. The other dude.
The other dude.
Oh man.
They had another dude.
He's still in the league. Damn, I can't remember his name. He's a black guy, plays center.
Oh, Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Those
my guy.
veterans that been on that team, they've been on that team. All they did was basically take out DeRozan and switch DeRozan with Kawhi. And
Let's
they
not.
be and
Let's be real. Kawhi was a Finals MVP before he went to that team already.
he won Finals MVP because he was able to D up LeBron, and that's the only
Exactly.
reason why he
And
won.
no, it wasn't no.
It wasn't because his offense.
Why
It
you
wasn't
acting
because of his
like?
offense.
Why you acting like it will? There's a difference between Andre Iguodala winning that MVP guarding LeBron and Kawhi Leonard guarding
Just
LeBron and
because of
winning
his
the MVP.
defense.
No,
Same
that's
thing.
too
Andre
different. That's
Iguodala.
too different. That's too different.
Same situation, bro.
It's
Same
same
situation.
situation, but two different. It's the same outcome, but two
Two different players, two
two
different
different
teams.
ways it played out. LeBron was giving Iguodala the business.
Exactly. And because the only reason why he still was dropping his points, but basically Iguodala was able to lock LeBron up so he didn't go completely nuclear, and they gave him the Finals MVP,
But he only
even though
averaged
they
28,
was actually
6, and
thinking about giving it to Bron anyway.
then he averaged 28, what, 8 and 6 or something, 8 and 7, 28, 8 and 7, damn near triple double, shooting over 50%. That's
Who
locking
Bron?
him up. Psh,
Who Bron?
yeah, he was killing
Yeah,
him.
he was still killing them. That's what I'm saying. They should have just gave it to Bron anyway, even though Bron was like they was like, oh, Bron's
How
not going to
nuclear
accept it.
dude did he needed to go? How nuclear did he need to
Hey,
go?
all I know is that two dudes are walking around this earth right now with Finals MVP awards that shouldn't have them just because they basically just because they played defense. That's all I gotta say. During that finals, when for Kawhi, I'm sure Duncan, Tony Parker, and Ginobili basically were just as big contributors, except for basically just defending the defensive assignments. So, I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, finish up this. Basically, we went around a little bit. Basically, Shaq, Hakeem,
Jokic, Zaza.
I don't have none of those dudes.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad.
That's your list. That's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Patrick Ewing. I'll put him in there. Who's that? 3? I need 2 other dudes. Centers. Let me think. I like centers. But it's just like sometimes it's hard to think right now. I don't know. It's kind of Let me see. I want to put I want to put the captain in there, Kareem, in it. I'll put him in it. I'll put him in it. Absolutely. One of the best, most dominant dudes of all time in there. And let me see. Didn't really rate Lonzo Mourning like that. I'm just thinking of dudes that from when I was growing up who I basically really thought of as being great like that. Um, all right, let me just throw some other dudes out there. I guess
Oh, personal
anybody.
favorite, Ben Wallace is my personal favorite.
Ben Wallace. I'll rate.
Ben
I'll
Wallace
give
is my
Ben
dude.
Wallace. I'll give Ben Wallace a nod. Definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
my guy.
um, there's some dudes that's in my brain, but I'm just like I'm blanking out right now. But I'll come back when they come back. When they come to me, I'll mention them later. But anyway, real quick before we go, let's just go over a little bit of NFL games right now. You do it really well in your league. You were a trade master basically, and worked your way all the way to the number one spot in the fantasy league right now. Me, I'm holding on for dear life to a playoff spot, but it is what it is. That's how it is. Game by game, you just got to keep on working your teams. What NFL teams right now are a surprise to you? Where they are, if they're high or if they're low?
I gotta say, the Broncos, like what the hell? They were just 1-5, and I'm like, I turn around now they're 5-5. They're beating the Chiefs. They just came off of beating the Vikings. I'm like, oh man, these guys turned it around. They were just about to be the laughing stock of the season. Man, they got their. I gotta give them credit. I gotta give them credit. It shows the heart of a team to where
Mm-hmm.
you can get stomped, 80 to 20, and then still maintain your dignity by still grinding it out, getting a respectable win on the road against the Chiefs. That was a big win, and
Mm-hmm.
basically scrapping and clawing to be 500. That that's a lot of respect to that team. They could have phoned it in if they wanted to. They were like, hey, it wasn't working, blah 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 blah. No, man, they stuck it out. They said, no, man, we here for a reason. So I got to give them credit.
Absolutely, absolutely. I give the Broncos a lot of credit because I mean they were really on the brink of about to this scrap the whole thing. Sean Payton was about to be like throw this ball and it's start from scratch real quick on them. But I mean they turned it around because honestly where they were a couple of weeks ago, I was just like, all right, well the Broncos are going to be in the market for a new quarterback. And I mean they still might, but he ain't going to be that high of a high of a draft pick with the fact that
Not
they
no
winning.
more.
I think that Sean Payton is okay with building the team and then maybe addressing that a little bit later. I feel like he basically is. I'm not saying that his answer for the future is Wilson, but at the same time, I feel like they just needed to get an identity and an understanding of how they wanted to run the team and how they wanted to play. And now I think it's finally clicking for them a little bit late. Unfortunately, I don't know how far they're gonna go or if they're gonna make it to the playoffs. Right now, the Broncos are 5-5, like you said. They are second in their specific divisions. Let's see. Obviously, the Dolphins are gonna make it. The Ravens are going to make it, the Jags are going to make it, and the Chiefs are going to make it. Then the next ones that are going to be in are going to be if the playoffs started right now, the Browns, the Steelers probably going to come in. Um, with that being said, then the Texans and yeah, everybody else is behind them. Behind everybody else is behind the Texans right now. So if the playoffs started right now, basically. So I don't think they would make the playoffs, the Broncos, but at the same time, they're not going to be low. So I mean, they still got something to fight for. There's a lot of teams that still kind of have something to fight for, at least pride. You know what I mean? So I'll give them definitely give them props. Um, I will say a team that I'm surprised at is not surprised. I'm not surprised. A team that I want to at least talk about or mention is Philadelphia Eagles. I thought that they had a really good chance to beat the Chiefs yesterday, and they pulled it off. You know what I mean? I felt that the Chiefs. I would assume. I expect the Chiefs to be better than this. But at the same time, they just. I don't think that they have their a go-to player. They have only one go-to player, and that's not enough for them. You know what I mean? When they were really, truly, truly greatly successful, they had two go-to players, and then they had some other players that they could play with them like that, basically. But they just haven't really gotten a guy that they're sure about, and that they really feel that they could pass to. And the Philadelphia Eagles has a great defense, and they have a very well-rounded offense. So if they're the ones who meet in the Super Bowl again, I think Philadelphia might take one.
I just think that um, the Chiefs, they need to not play around and start paying the people that they actually need to pay. I know it took Chris Jones a minute to come back, you know, during this season, and then ever since he's been back, he's been wreaking havoc. And
Absolutely.
I feel like if they had to do it over, they'd pay Tyreek Hill again,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like even though they won the Super Bowl last year, I feel like, all right, you knew that they weren't going to be able to repeat it. It just, all right, even though they won and got over the hump, it was like, all right, it didn't seem like, all right, this is a team that they can win it, run it back next year. It wasn't like that. It was like
Mm-hmm.
the Eagles really surpassed them. They just haven't been to that big dance yet. They got that out of their system. I feel like they reached the Super Bowl. It'll go another way next year, this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
just in my opinion.
Absolutely. I feel like if the Chiefs, I mean, I expect the Bronx. I expect the um I expect for the Eagles to probably play either the Cowboys or the Niners in the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl. Um, who do I expect to win? I'll give the edge to the to Philly because I believe in their quarterback more than I believe in Brock Purdy. But 49ers defense is going to be something to get by. But I feel definitely since this first time that they went to the Super Bowl, they got that taste in their mouth of defeat that they're not going to like for the whole entire season, and they came back focused. They 9-1 this season, and that says a lot. But I think that they definitely have a good defense, a well-rounded offense, and determination, and that usually is a good that's a good recipe for a team to do big things. But we're gonna see how they do. I don't I the Chiefs right now are second in their conference behind Baltimore. I personally don't think that Baltimore has they have a great defense. They got Lamar, of course. I just don't feel like the offense is as fluid as it could possibly be. So out of those top six teams, I kind of feel like Philly might be the one, and that makes me sick as a New York Giants fan to say it, but it is what it is. Real recognizes real, and so basically, I think the Eagles are going to be great. Real quick, I just want to talk about my badass team. My Giants somehow decided to win the game last night or on Sunday, and now they are 3-8 instead of 2-8, which they could have basically been the right around with the Cardinals and the Patriots for the worst record in the league. I don't ever want to have to tank, but sometimes when you got to tank when you got to tank, son.
You
Sometimes you got to
gotta,
tank when you got to tank.
man, you gotta go the whole enchilada if you're gonna do it. You can't seesaw with the tanking process because you're only shooting yourself in the foot. You're doing your
It's
fan base another disservice. You know what I mean? Like, some people, at some point in time, people really do get sick and tired of this, like the same old cycle. It's like, it feels like, to be in some of the highest paid positions in the world, if not America, y'all make some rookie mistakes. You know what I mean? They be making some rookie mistakes, and it just baffles me. I'm like, what do I need? What what course did they teach in college? To get a degree in being a GM or something, like, because I can do a worse job than this.
I would love to know because personally, I would love to be a GM, assistant GM somewhere in a front office for an NBA team or an NFL team, because I feel like some teams just be ju- um gi- um Gilbert Arena said it the best. There's several types of teams in the league. Some teams are trying to win a championship every single year. Some teams are trying to at least be competitive. and some teams are just cool with selling season tickets. And I feel like the Giants, for a time, they want to get back to that place of being a competitive, but I think that right now they're okay with just being what it is because they don't want to spend a lot of money. I feel like the Giants are in a place where they're just like, yeah, we have all the money that we can have, but we want to be cheap right now, and we don't want to basically go all the way in for certain things because we don't want to we want to be conservative, and I feel like conservative teams don't get fed. They don't when you're a conservative team, I don't really feel that you go far. I mean, maybe once in a while you get lucky, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you have to take risks to get great rewards. And I don't feel like us losing a game with the backups backup is a great risk for is not worth just losing that game for basically the larger reward that we're going to get, because obviously I don't think that whatever the hell his name is, DeVito, is the future. Tyrod Taylor is obviously not the future. And I swear to you, if they come back next year talking about that Daniel Dimes is their person of the future, I am ready to fire the whole entire front office because they obviously don't know what they're doing. They just here as placeholders to spend our money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, we could have been right down there. So this is my question for you, though. This is my question for you. Take all that out of there. Right now, worst team in the league, Carolina Panthers. Do you think that they're okay with their quarterback?
No, I think they messed up. I think they know they messed up. I think they know they messed up.
But they're gonna put it in reverse, or they're gonna basically ride it out with the quarterback they got.
Well, they ain't got no choice because now they don't even have their number one draft pick. I mean, they first round draft pick. That's in Chicago now. So it's
Oh,
like,
what's the name
and
trade?
then you gave them DJ Moore, a receiver that could have helped develop uh Bryce Young, but
DJ Moore and Thielen would have been real nice in the backfield.
that would have been nasty. Him and
That'd been
Thielen, that'd
nasty.
have been nasty.
That'd been
That'd have
nasty.
been nasty. Man, or even if they could have had Thielen, could have kept him, let him walk after this year. Even if they was bad enough to, they could have got a Marvin Harrison Jr. or something. Man, they could have.
They could have did some things. You know what I'm saying?
They could have did some
I wouldn't
things.
specifically just give up on that quarterback, even though okay, your quarterback is not as good as CJ Stroud. Understandable. Everybody don't hit.
Right
If
away.
sometimes there's only one or two of those guys. When you have like a deep draft of about six quarterbacks, sometimes only one of them is worth having. So you just gotta take a swing, and if it's the one you picked, you just one you pick. I think that they went for the real for the short quarterback, and they gotta basically they gotta build a team around him. They gotta put a O line in front of him that's big and tall, and he gonna basically have to throw it up high and just air it out basically. But hey, that's gonna be it. Next one, number second from the last is Arizona Cardinals. Are they gonna go for a new quarterback?
Um, I'd say yeah. I feel like after this year, after you done build up, Kyler Murray's resume a little bit, made him look good, make him look, polished him off a little good. Show the customers, hey, this thing he still work, he still work exactly. You little spit shine, make sure just giving everybody other teams some film so that they all right. This is a product we can feel good investing in if we do decide to move on. Let them go ahead and get their quarterback because I feel like if anything anybody learned this year about rookies, rookie quarterbacks are still a viable option thanks to CJ Stroud. It's not like you got to reset the clock entirely. You
Mm-mm.
know what I mean? Because now it feels like the Houston um dang, what's the
Texans.
Houston Texans? Thank you.
Hmm.
Now with the Texans, they can just tweak a few things here and there. They got Tank Dell now. Man, they got options now to go wherever they want. They can go the. I feel like they can go the Bengals route if they want to.
Shoot, Texas might
If
mess
they
around
can
and get
go,
into the playoffs this year.
huh?
Texans might mess around and get into the playoffs this year.
Might mess around for real. Like, psh. CJ
Real
Stroud was
talk.
good. So
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying is, yeah, I think this is the time to, if you was willing to invest in quarterback, yeah. I know everybody's been burned because of Kenny Pickett's and the Wilsons of the worlds and stuff. I know like high end quarterbacks haven't been hitting lately, but CJ Stroud gives us renewed faith.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes it has to be the right. It's a lot. It's so many moving parts that go into building a team. NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. It's so many. You can't. It's not just get somebody who could swing for the fences. It's not just that. It's not just get somebody who could air it out. Get somebody who could sack the quarterback. You have to have all those pieces at the same damn time, and all of them moving in the same direction. It's hard to get that all happening. So CJ Stroud, not saying that he's a far greater quarterback, but at the same time, he could be a great quarterback in a better situation than all the other guys. So, I mean, hey, kudos to him. I hope that he does that. They do great. You know what I'm saying? And go on to do amazing things. Do you think that? I mean, okay, so the Cardinals basically signed Kyler Murray. He has years left on his contract. So what do you think they should what do you think they should do? And is trading him for Daniel Jones an option?
No, I don't think that's an option. I think Daniel Jones. I think the league knows you got to basically eat that contract now. I think if there was a sucker, it's past now because now he's coming off the what, a torn ACL, and yeah, so it's like no, it's done up. It's done up. I feel like if the Cardinals was ever to get jiggy, I'd be like, hey Falcons, what's up? I got two first round draft picks. I can give you Kyler Murray, two first round draft picks. Send me back Kyle Pitts. We can make some shake. Make some shake.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I mean, they got their brand new little tight end from last year. I think they drafted him last year, McBride.
McBride is
Um,
nice.
and
McBride is
he's
nice.
pretty nice, pretty nice, basically. But obviously, supposedly Kyle Pitts is being wasted in Atlanta. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like how many targets are they? I really need to look at those figures and those statistics. How many targets is he getting? How many of those targets are actually catchable? And how is he really going to turn into ETN not ETN Evan Ingram going to another team and then basically turning into a tight end? I need to see it. I need to see it. I
Oh,
don't know. I
I'm
feel
moving
like
Kyle Pitts on the outside. I'm turning it into Megatron.
he
I'm moving him on the outside.
that might work. That might work. I'm not mad at that at all, son. I'm not mad at that at all. All I know is that basically both the Cardinals and the Giants are kind of in the same position where we gave a quarterback that we completely don't really truly 100% believe in. We gave them good money, and I don't know if they're going to be there for the whole entirety of that team of that contract. I want to know how much we still owe guaranteed to Daniel Jones because he could go ahead and take this check and go and go to the subway and take that shit back to wherever the hell you came from, all the way back to Duke or wherever it was that
And
you played football.
you think the Giants can just get rid of, see what they can get from Saquon? Because at this point, we know we're gonna have to just keep. Daniel Jones is just gonna have to be that guy in the attic. He's in the house. You know he in
Dan,
the house. Can't
D-
But like,
Daniel Jones is going to be one of the highest paid placeholders in the league. I don't at least let's just say this. I've been watching football since I was in high school and I'm in my 40s. So I've seen a good amount of good football
hmm
between um, going to Penn State, being in Pennsylvania and watching Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Super Bowls and going into the playoffs every single year that I was living in Pennsylvania. So I've seen a good amount of good football, and then seeing when the Giants were good and the Patriots were great for years and years and years. I don't see that from Daniel Jones. So I feel like they should definitely move on to another player. We're going to have to pay him a certain amount of money, but he could stick around and be that placeholder for the next guy. My
yeah,
thing
I
is,
mean, it's
go ahead.
awkward. It's gonna be awkward though. It's like
It's
you in
business.
a marriage, right? Say like you pretty much y'all are separated. and you starting to date, but the person that you separated with is still living in the house.
I've been there
You
before.
know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes,
It's
it's
awkward.
awkward. It's awkward.
I, s- we were still sleeping in the same bed for several months until we were able to make a different move. You know what I'm saying? It is what it
Yeah,
is. You deal with with the awkwardness, and sooner or later you move on and make moves when you can. But at least right now, financially, if it's not feasible for both of y'all to move on and
right.
dip on the first day, you got to do what it got to do.
You got
So
to do
he's
what you
going to
got
be
to do.
there. It's just like this right now. Our O line sucks. So would I put our brand new, fresh out the box quarterback action figure out and put him behind that O line? Hell no, I ain't putting him
Yes,
behind that O line.
yes.
I would put I would
Go ahead.
put Daniel Jones. I'm just saying right now, draft your quarterback and put Daniel Jones out there so he could basically at least learn the playbook and have Daniel Jones build up his market. Build up his credibility a little bit, basically rebuild that, and then maybe you can make some moves. Somebody might need Daniel Jones as a backup somewhere.
Yeah. One thing the Giants have never forgotten is how to make a good defense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We say you got to,
you know what I'm
and
saying?
this
That's it's like a trade for them. Like, oh, we know how to make good defenses. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
in this division
we
you
just
have to
gotta
have.
buy a quarterback. We just gotta get a quarterback somehow. Somehow we just gotta get a quarterback.
In the NFC East, you have to have a great defense. All of them have pretty much great defenses, or else you pretty much like 1-0, 1-15 every single year if you don't have a good defense. But no, that's the only saving grace that we have right now is the fact that we still have a decent defense, and we still have Saquon. And unfortunately, Saquon is our top pick, our top bargaining chip. So that's what I'm saying. We need to lose these games so we don't have to trade Saquon to be able to jump up in the draft. We could
No,
get up in the draft on our own. Why basically trade Saquon for that foolishness?
trade Saquon. No, 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 no. Trade Saquon. It'd be
Why?
best. It'd be best. It'd be best because I feel like it's better for both parties to just move on and see what you can get. Because I feel like, all right, Saquon is how old is he? He's about 26.
Maybe about 25,
So
26 probably.
what time do you think y'all gonna have a viable team that's gonna be making to the playoffs? It's not gonna take. It's not gonna be next year. It's not gonna be the year after. So
You're
now
right.
he's what 28, 29. Now
You're
we
right.
ready
If we rebuild
with
and completely,
29-year-old Saquon?
if
No.
we completely rebuild, then yes, it's going to take a while. If Daniel Jones is going to take years and years to actually become the kind of player that we want him to be, it's going to take a while. And Saquon, yeah, we might as well let him go and be great somewhere else.
And
I'll say that definitely.
As a Falcons fan, I know it's like, look, I would love to keep Kyle Pitts, but I know, look, bro, it ain't for us. I'd rather you be free. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. You know, you don't want to see him leave, but at the same
It's
time,
like you dating somebody, but you know that you ain't right for them and they ain't right for you right now.
just
So
like
let
how
me
we was
go
talking
ahead and
about the
stop.
Lakers and their young bloods. I feel like there's greener pastures elsewhere.
You gotta let them go and fly somewhere else sometimes, yo. All right, so obviously the Patriots are gonna go for a quarterback. The Bears, do you think the Bears are gonna change from Fields?
Whew, man, I don't even know what they doing. Cause like blowing it up would just be they've been blowing it up for I don't know how long. They look like pops after his second burrito. The way they've been blowing it up lately. So
Don't go in that locker room for 40,
don't
40, 45 minutes.
35, 40. Man, they talking about don't go in that organization for about 35, 45 years. Like they just keep not getting it right. So at this point, they got to find a way to get out this limbo.
I'll tell you
Like
right
for
now,
real.
son. I feel
It's
you. I feel you.
cuz like are we going to really gonna cuz like I feel like I don't know. Me personally, I just feel like the best option is just blow it up again. Get rid of Justin Fields, see what you can get. But this time, start with a new front office. Somebody who knows how to pick draft players correctly and start from there. Or stick with it and just keep building on top of this. Keep tweaking. They only got
Mhm.
these two options. What option do you think is better for them?
I personally feel like a lot of teams point at the quarterback as though the quarterback is the only issue on their team. It's kind of like the same thing with the Giants. And I'm not saying that Daniel is not Daniel Jones' fault. I don't think that Daniel Jones is a great quarterback regardless, but it definitely doesn't help him being behind a bad O line. And so certain things basically might not be completely the quarterback's fault. Fields, I don't think that he's a bad quarterback. He's been hurt. I don't know if he has enough weapons. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I wouldn't specifically move on from Fields just yet. I feel like they can basically. I feel like they have a lot more other issues to worry about than the quarterback. I wouldn't want to. That's the problem. Sometimes they point directly to the quarterback, even though there's other issues going on too. They think the fix is going to be the quarterback, and so since there's three big quarterbacks in this draft, everybody wants to get them, but everybody can't get them.
You
You
know
know what
who
I'm
I would love
saying?
to see? I would love to see Eric Bieniemy get a head coaching job for the Chicago Bears. That would be. I feel like that'd be nasty. He can work with Justin Fields, get him
I,
right.
I think he would work with Justin Fields. Justin Fields. I think he would sit there and work with Justin Fields. Unfortunately, though, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure. But I kind of feel like Eric Bieniemy is going to get the coaching job when Rivera they're going to give Rivera the boot at the end of this season, and I think Eric Bieniemy they might kick the tires on Eric Bieniemy as the head coach in Washington.
I mean, I can see that. They are cleaning house because, like, you know, one of the best signs of knowing somebody that's cleaning house is when AKA getting rid of the front office is getting rid of their front office's players. If they didn't pick
Mm-hmm.
you in the draft or they didn't get you in free agency, you out the door too. Because the new coach, new system, they gonna
Exactly.
find their new players.
New
So
regime. They
yeah, it's
they
gonna be a
didn't
new
pick them.
regime.
That's why I kind of felt I kind of was curious about the new regime that came into the Giants, and they basically re-signed Daniel Jones, and I didn't see nothing great from Daniel Jones from the beginning. So I was just like, y'all gave him money anyway.
He
But
got a
anyway,
great personality.
this,
He has a great
he's a
personality.
butterface.
Man,
He's not even a butterface. He's not even a butterface because basically he don't got nothing else going on besides his face. So I was, hey, it is what it is. So with that being said, that leads me to the fifth team is the Giants. You got all those teams that possibly could be going back and looking for quarterbacks. Why are you out here trying to win championships or trying to win games when your starting quarterback has an ACL and is done for the season? Your backup quarterback has a rib injury and punctured his lung damn near again, so he's out. You on your third string Willie Beeman quarterback, who basically is living at home with his mama, and somehow y'all eke out a win. Saquon is catching touchdowns and running in touchdowns and catching touchdowns in the game. Y'all beating up on the Washington. I'm just like, son, nobody got the memo that y'all supposed to lose this game. Y'all supposed to lose this game because it
y'all
ain't
had
helping
every reason
nobody.
to lose. Y'all
We
had
had
every
every
reason to
reason to
lose.
lose.
Every
Even if
excuse,
we could beat
really.
them, we said even, but the defense decided to say, you know what? F that. We're not losing. Because the defense is the only thing that's basically carrying the whole team this season is the defense.
Incentives. That's the only thing I can think of. Incentives. I
That
don't
part.
know.
And that's why I was just like, okay, well, they shut down Saquon because Saquon's just like, hey, listen, half my checks is wrapped up in incentives. So I need to be out here. So it is what it
And
is.
that's how they make them contracts. Ain't that crazy? So
Yep.
even if y'all gonna be even if y'all throwing away the season, you still gotta be out there, man. Ooh, it's a cold world in the
Cold world,
NFL.
son. Cold
Dang.
world. Cold world. And they don't care about you. After that, they'll be like, okay, thank you so much for your contributions. We gonna franchise tag your ass.
You know that you know what ironic? Like, like if you're on a tanking football team, you can't even try to save your body for a meaningless game. That's crazy. Like,
Hmm.
man, Saquon's doing all this for a season for what? For real. That's just extra
So
tread on the tire you could have saved for next year.
which basically leads me back to what you were saying. I'm a Penn State alumni. I've been following Saquon since he was at Penn State. I was overjoyed when he came to the Giants, and I had so much hope for him. It was a very big disappointment drafting who he drafted as a quarterback. But I hope that it would work out, and I hope that he would stay with the Giants. But yeah, I feel you where you saying that basically we might as well let that dove go, let him go fly away because we're not doing it. We're not doing him a service. You know what I mean? But teams are selfish, so they're gonna basically try to hold on. But I feel like at the very least we could do that and maybe get one of these top picks
Hmm.
because Saquon to me is the biggest bargaining chip that we have. And
Man,
if the Panthers, I mean they got Miles Sanders and whoever the hell was that,
yeah,
Chuba Hubbard,
yeah.
whatever. The Cardinals has Connor. Patriots have a dude. The Bears, they don't have. Do the Bears have a dude? But the Bears have enough they're worrying about. I'm just like, y'all don't have a lot of
Oh, if
avenues
the
to get one of those
Bears
top three
get
picks.
man, who
If
could
the
use a
Bears get Saquon,
Saquon next year? Who could use a Saquon next year?
what? Let me count the
That's a good.
ways.
That's a good.
Let me see. The
The
Chargers
Chiefs
could
could use
no 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 no.
Saquon next year.
The
The Chiefs.
Chiefs,
The Chiefs.
the
Man,
Chiefs need a Saquon.
they need Saquon. They got no choice. They needed Saquon. They need Saquon. Man, I'll be like, hey Chiefs, what's up, man? Two
Holla
firsts,
at you,
one
holla at
second.
your boy.
Okay. Say less. Throw in Hilaire. We'll see if
If
we can do something with him. He young enough.
if the Niners could get Chase Young and and CMC
Hmm.
back to back years, if they could pull off those trades, the Chiefs could definitely pull off
Yeah.
a Saquon trade. And I
Yeah.
mean, hey, hell yeah, they would need a. They could definitely get a Saquon. Let me see the let me see. No, 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 no.
Cowboys? Nah.
Nah, they got Pollard. Um, yeah, all these teams. Oh, the Vikings could use a Saquon, but
Uh.
the top team that needs a Saquon is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So
That's the only.
you go ahead and take Saquon, give us back Pacheco and some more picks. You know what I mean? But what we need is a top pick. We need one of those top three picks because if we don't get the top three pick, we're not gonna get one of these
You
quarterbacks.
know what the
They're
beautiful
gonna go
thing
one,
about
two,
it
three.
is?
Bet money. They're going
I
one, two,
love when you
three.
said throwing Pacheco. The beautiful thing about throwing in Pacheco with some picks is that way we don't gotta waste a draft pick on a runner back we that may or may not work out. Boom, Pacheco, he already there. So now is shoot, man, it's extra
We got
equity
a
we can just
starter.
spend on man.
Exactly. We get a starter, we get some extra picks basically, but what I want them to do is to be able to get to trade Saquon. I don't want Saquon to go to a bad team. I don't do bad by the man, but
Yeah,
basically, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, we need one of those top three picks because Bo Nix, Penix, and Caleb are going number three. Going.
who?
I don't know if they're gonna go one, two, three, but it
Yeah,
looks like they're gonna go one, two, three. Because the Panthers, nah, I think the Panthers gonna stick. I think the Panthers are gonna stick with their quarterback, and they're gonna
yeah.
probably go defense. I'll say that. The Cardinals, they're probably gonna go quarterback, which I think is crazy because that means that they're gonna have to get rid of
But remember, the
get rid of
Panthers don't
Kyler.
have their pick this year. The Panthers, that pick is going to the Bears.
The number one pick overall is gonna go to the Bears.
Yeah, wow, right?
Wow,
Because
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 they
because
traded
they
away.
traded up for the number one overall pick.
That's right.
Yeah, bugging. I know they wish they could have that one back. Boy,
Okay, so but still, they got a quarterback. I don't know if they basically because that would really just basically that makes bad team chemistry. You draft a quarterback one year, the next year you replace that quarterback, and that quarterback didn't have any type of. So what quarterback's going to want to come and play for you if you basically replacing quarterbacks year by year?
I'll say
I think the
this.
Panthers are going to keep their quarterback and do something different.
I'll say this. Maybe not. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe it's the next year. Maybe it's the year. Cause look, cause now we talking about Deion Sanders boy. So it's like, and who knows what? There's always gonna be monsters in the draft every year. Who knows? Who knows who's gonna come out the year after these players come out? Man, there might be some ballers, but yeah, I mean, it just depends on how. But you gotta have a plan.
True.
That's the main thing. You gotta have a plan though. Like if you're
Absolutely
gonna do
gotta have
this
a
willy
plan.
nilly, you just spinning your wheels.
I mean, I'm just thinking about it because of the fact that the Giants, among other NFL teams, went to the Washington USC game to see that game between Caleb and Penix. So I feel like they were trying to look at those two players and trying to target one of those two players for the draft. But at the same time, I mean, don't get me wrong, Shador Sanders looks great to me, but I mean, it's to say, I feel like he'll be a lot better if he had a good O line in front of him. You know what I mean? So he has been marginalized because of the fact that he has no protection back there. So who knows how great he could really be, or how great these other quarterbacks really are, because they're basically behind these great O lines that have been created for several years and cultivated over several years before they even got there to the team. You know what I mean? So it's a guessing game. We're gonna cover it a little bit more later in the season to see how these teams decide to lose, if they decide to lose some more, or if they decide to rise higher. The Titans, they have their rookie quarterback, so they're going to be good. The Commanders are going to be good with their quarterback. The Jets, I don't know if the Jets are going to draft a quarterback, but they're probably going to try to get down. I swear to God, if the Jets creep down and get a quarterback before the Giants get a quarterback, I
That
don't know
won't
what I'm gonna
happen.
do, bro.
That won't
I don't
happen.
know. I don't
That
know.
won't happen.
I don't know.
The Giants, the Jets have been trying to get a quarterback for how many years? Yeah, no, that won't happen. I think they're just gonna go in the market, and there's no quarterback that's gonna be in the market other than Kyler. I feel like, or Justin Fields. That's it.
I
But I
think
feel like they're
they
just
wouldn't
gonna
mind
make it
having a
work with Aaron.
Kyler back there.
They still got Aaron. You know, maybe
Hey,
one more year.
I say pick up Kyler. Aaron's coming back. I say go ahead and pick up Kyler. Put Zach on the third string, or let him go. Either way. Um, but honestly, besides those teams in front of the Giants, I don't see nobody else who's really in the market for a quarterback right now, as far as teams that are actually bad.
The Falcons.
So, and the Falcons, but they're doing a lot better than everybody else, and that's a sad thing.
Who
They're doing better
knows?
than the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers have what's the dude's name? Baker Mayfield.
Oh
So
wait, time
they
out. The Vikings could need a quarterback too.
right. The Vikings need a quarterback. I mean, you think they're gonna get rid of Cousins?
The Steelers need a quarterback. What? Everybody needs a quarterback, and it's the sad
Lots of
part.
players need
Everybody's
lots
gonna
of
be
lots of
thirsty
teams.
this year. You thought people were thirsty for a quarterback last. They weren't even really that thirsty last year for quarterbacks. They was kind of parched last year for a quarterback, but they're gonna be thirsty this year just because
Thirsty.
CJ Stroud showed them what could happen if you do hit on a quarterback.
Messing
So I
around.
feel
The
like
Cleveland Browns could be in for looking for a quarterback. The Cleveland Browns could be looking for a quarterback. Um, let me see. The Steelers are gonna be looking for a quarterback. The Minnesota Vikings are gonna be looking for a quarterback. Um, the New Orleans Saints are gonna probably be looking for a quarterback
like I
soon
said,
enough.
yeah,
Um,
it's
you know what I'm saying? Denver might look for a quarterback to back up Wilson until that transition happens. Sean Payton go ahead and get that rookie acclimated while he sits behind. I can see that happening. Um, ooh, what if the Broncos pick up Shador Sanders to sit behind Russell Wilson, and basically
ew,
um
ew,
Sean Payton this you said
ew,
what? You said
ew.
ill.
Ew, 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 that's gross. That just
Sean
don't
Payton with
sound
Shador Sanders? What?
ew. Nah, ew, nah, ew. You, Archie Manning looks like a Broncos player other than Shador. Shador sound like a Baltimore player. He sound like he played for the Falcons or the Bears. He sound like
That's who he should play for, the Falcons.
yeah, he should. He should. Man, man, it'd be over with. But
He could be picked up in the fifth round by the Falcons.
Shador is going in the fifth.
I'm just saying.
Whoa.
I don't know if he's gonna go high, son. I don't think Shador is gonna go that high. If they finished higher, I think they would have been better. But it's obvious that he don't have enough protection. Why they're doing so bad
You know what's
in the
crazy?
defense?
Give CJ Stroud Brock Bowers. Man, give CJ Stroud Brock Bowers or Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, or give them
I'm
both.
saying,
Give them both.
hey man, CJ Stroud right now, he playing with house money. So I mean, hey, and also sometimes the second year for the rookies, that you now you're really on the on the scouting report.
Oh yeah, true,
You
true,
know what I'm saying? So,
true,
but hey, they could
true.
basically they could do some things. The Colts should be good with their quarterback
Uh,
once he gets healthy
Hey,
again.
yeah,
Denver is going to be probably looking for a quarterback. See, Cincinnati's definitely not looking for a quarterback. The Raiders will be looking for a quarterback. Um, the Packers, I don't think they're going to be looking for a quarterback yet. They're going to try to make that work. They're going to try to make that work.
they gonna try
They
to
don't
make it
like
work one more
they,
year.
they don't like turnover in the Packers. They've had him there for a minute for a reason. They're going to see if it works. They're going to do their best to see if it works first before they basically change over from that. The Rams might be looking for a new quarterback soon because
Yeah,
Stafford's on his last leg,
yeah.
and that leg's a peg leg.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm like, hey, look, Aaron Donald, what last ride, what's up? How can we make a trade?
Hey, if I get you to a contending team, will you be cool with it? That's what they. That's all they got to do. You think that like a team like let me see, like a
49ers.
team the 49ers get Aaron Donald to where is Commissioner Stern
Real
when you
talk.
need
Where's
him
David
to
Stern
say
for
David
real? Where
Stern
you
to be
need
like
him? When
veto
you
that
need
shit.
him? When you need him for real?
No, that's a
Dang.
no. That is a no right there,
Hey, that
plain and
would be
simple.
some. I just want to
Ooh,
see it now.
son,
We got the Warriors in our
if S-
lifetime. Like
if Sam Darnold goes to the Chiefs,
Sam Darnold.
not Sam
S-
Darnold, Aaron Darnold. Sorry,
Aaron,
my
oh,
bad.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Darnold to the
That
Chiefs.
would be nice. That would be nice, but it wouldn't be as I would like just like how like we're in this universe where we got KD going to the Warriors, which was crazy. But like this would be like KD going to the Warriors if Aaron Donald went to the 49ers or the Eagles. Psh, man,
Hell,
man.
anything can happen, and I say that especially at. I mean, he got his ring, but what's better than one ring? Two rings.
Two
So I feel
rings.
like my man might just to say, you know what? I'm still here for another year. I'm still dominant. I'm just on a bum ass team. So let me just basically go ahead and just go to this better team for 1 year. I'll do a LBJ. I'll do a OBJ and take this $18 million for 1 year
Hmm.
and basically just cost wreck. Just like Von Miller up in the Broncos. They was I mean not the Broncos, the Bills. They brought him there for one reason: cause havoc. Plain and
Hmm.
simple. I mean, and it might just turn into a Super Bowl game, But hey, we're gonna see what happens. The season's almost it's week 12, so we got what 6 more weeks left?
Call piss to
No,
the
five
Ravens
more weeks. Five more
next year.
weeks.
Call piss to the Ravens next year. Watch. Call piss to the Ravens next year. Be nasty.
They still got Andrews.
Nah, let's cut him a year early, like how Belichick do. He cuts him a year early, get him out the way, and boom.
Belichick. He's probably gonna be end. Let's end this. Let's end the whole conversation on Belichick.
Okay,
Is he gone this year? Is this his last year with the Patriots?
he's gone next year. I feel like next year. I feel like
They're gonna give
next
him
year.
one more year at the helm.
I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like they should be ironically do what he do to his players when he trades them a year early. Because when you trade them when they need to be traded, you can't get the right value for them. So I feel like they should cut him this year, but because that would be the best. All right, like I think they got enough money off the books where they can start off where they don't got nobody committed. They can just start fresh, front office, front new philosophy, new era. You know what I mean? So if
Hmm.
they bring him in next year and bring in some old blood and start mixing old blood in with the new blood, you're gonna have a divided household.
I feel it. So okay, Patriots fire Bill Belichick. Do you think he coaches next year?
Nah, he take a year off if anything.
Do you think he takes a year off, or no teams offer him a position?
Oh, that's a good question, but I'm gonna go the latter. I think no teams will offer him a position
You
because
think he's the
you
old
you
guard? He's the old
yeah,
guard now.
you're giving up too much power to a player. I mean,
Oh, he
to a philosophy that's kind of out past
outdated.
his. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It happens. It happens.
At
You
the
know what I
very least,
mean?
he can't be GM no more.
Yeah, at the very least. At the very least.
He can't. Just like Popovich shouldn't be GM no more. He can't be
Hell
GM
no.
no more.
Who put them in player personnel? Like
That I
in
mean, that
charge
was
of player
but that
personnel.
was when they was winning like five
That's
championships.
crazy.
But
You talking
now
about the
it's a whole nother generation, bro.
yeah, talk to me. Yeah, so yeah.
Whole nother generation. It's just like I don't think that he would. I think that that's what happens sooner or later. That these players just get tone deaf to these coaches who think that they're gonna basically run practice and run everything like it's the 1980s. But you can do it, but at the same time, you have to earn their respect first.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he has. I mean, he's been great, but he's great to people like me who's 40 something years old
Hmm.
who watched his first championship with Brady and
Yeah.
all these other championships. I've watched that. A kid who's coming straight up out of high school and going into the college right now. What the hell do they know about a Belichick?
Yeah. See, but the game is the same. It's just how you play it. It changes over time. You know what I mean?
The
Like
mentality
you
changes a
you,
little
you
bit.
wouldn't court your wife with like 18th century how they court somebody in the 18th century. You know
Oh
what I'm
no,
saying? Like
right.
is like come on now.
You
Like
gotta
it's
change it up.
you
You
gotta
gotta
change it
talk to
up.
players different. You gotta talk to players
You
different.
gotta talk to yeah.
But I think of it. I'm just gonna leave it here. I think of it. Sorry, I think of it like my personal style when it comes to the office. I still got the same job to do, but I don't talk to everybody the same way. I know some people I gotta finesse. Some people I gotta basically, I talk to straight because I don't got time for the foolishness. Some people basically, you gotta know how to talk to each different person. I mean, you don't not saying you gotta be a different person to every single person, but at the
Mhm.
same time, you don't approach this person the same way. You don't approach your star with the same way you approaching the worst player on the team or the player who needs you to basically take him under the wing. You don't do him the same way with your 10-year veteran who basically, who been here all this time. You can't you can't in this new age, you can't expect for the veteran to be here throughout all a training camp along with the worst player that you trying not to cut off your team.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to basically move between the lines.
Yeah.
Not saying I mean I'm not saying that I like player coaches because personally I don't think that all player coaches are great. I think
Really.
sometimes you gotta. I, it's just like this. Coaches need to be parents. Sometimes some parents can be when a child has to be able to respect you whether you're being friendly to them or like a friend to them or being the authority figure. You know what I'm saying? When you are a player coach, I think some player coaches go a little bit too much towards the player side and lose their authority. Now you're just another person in the locker room.
True.
You're not really the dude basically steering the ship. They need to
True.
know that you're the one in charge and you're the one steering the ship, and not the fact that you want more targets is going to determine whether or not you get more targets. I need to be the parent figure that even though I'm encouraging you, I gotta be able to have enough authority still left in the bank to go up to meet you and be like, yo, you dropped 4 balls last week, son. You're not getting 15 targets this week. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying when that kind of situation comes, somebody has to be able to go up to them and be real to them and meet them at that level, not be disrespectful, but at the
Mhm.
same time still be real. I'd be like, son, okay, you mad because you're not getting as much carries, but you fumbled 2 balls last year. I mean last week.
Mhm.
We went back to you. You fumbled the ball. Okay, we took you, give you some time to get your mind right. Later in the game, we went back to you and you fumbled the ball again. You're mad that you only have 10 carries this week? You know what I mean? Some players will be some coaches will be rubbing their back and be like, "It's okay. I'm gonna go right back to you again next week. Everything's okay.
Mhm.
I don't want to mess with your confidence." Some players need their confidence messed with, not their confidence, but some players need to be challenged. And I feel
No,
like
for real.
some player. That's why I don't really feel like completely authoritative coaches or completely player coaches. You got to be somewhere in the middle. You know
At
what I'm
some
saying?
point, you got to develop some sort of callus on, like when you're working out, like certain things, you got to develop a callus to certain things. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Mhm.
toughen up to certain things. Like,
Exactly. It's like this. It's like Tyronn Lue, one of his biggest, not saying it's his one-time achievement in the world, but one of the things that they basically point to the most when they talk about Tyronn Lue is
is
when
the
he was coaching Braun
oh,
and he basically told not to step over,
oh,
obviously, but when he was coaching Braun as far as his coaching career, when he was coaching Braun at the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Braun was in they called the timeout. He came into the time. He comes into the timeout with Braun, and Braun was basically trying to say something about what he thought they needed to do, and he basically supposedly he told Braun, "Shut up, everybody, shut up. This is what we're gonna do." He took charge. So basically, that's his claim to fame, kind of, is that basically he had the quote unquote cojones to stand up to Braun because Braun is this impeachable, police. Don't get me wrong. LeBron's under Mount Rushmore, but at the same time, a coach needs to basically still be like, okay, you're, God's gift to basketball, but at the same time, everybody ain't you.
hmm
Everybody else needs somebody to follow. You can decide to ignore me, but everybody else needs to know what the hell they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So sooner or later, a coach got to basically step in and take charge like that. And I feel like there's a lot of coaches out there who, either they're stuck in their ways and they feel like, oh, everybody, if if I talk shit to Brady and I talk shit to Tim Duncan and they took it, then you need to take it too, a la Belichick and Popovich. Every player ain't doing that. You ain't gonna talk to. I mean, maybe he thinks he's gonna talk to Wimbenyama the way he talked to Tim Duncan, and it's gonna be received in the same way. But Wimbenyama's 19. I don't know if maybe he really looks up to you like that, but at the same time, he don't even have the same vocabulary as
oh
Tim
no,
Duncan did.
I mean that makes sense. That makes sense. Like you from New York, right? So
Yeah,
say like you go into a different state and you like, I wish one of these so and
would
so's at this stage try me on something. I'm from such and such. You can't talk to me like that. It's
you
different. It's
know,
like, yeah, like you
it's
don't know me
different.
like that. Like,
At the
yeah.
very least, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, son. Okay, yeah, yeah. It's like we're all fans of the sport here. Just because I'm 19 don't mean that I don't know you haven't won a championship in 15 years.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm young doesn't mean that I don't know the track record. I respect you, but at the same time, there's certain levels to how you're gonna talk to me. You're not gonna basically get up in my face and grab my face mask and pull me to your. Maybe you were able to do that back in the 80s, but you can't do that in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to be flexible. So Bill Belichick, I wish you would have came to us about to the Giants about like maybe 5 years ago. My bad. I'm sweating like I'm getting hot. I'm old, son. I'm old right now. I'm sweating. But we call it. But Belichick. I wish he would have came to the Giants about 5 years ago. That would have been awesome. But I don't. I'm not saying that he should be put out the pasture. But I don't really personally feel like he's in a position to be anybody's GM either. So I think that he should basically. And how much of a personality is he going to be when it comes to being a talking head on CBS football
Yeah.
or whatever? He's not going to be spicy. He's not going to be anybody spicy.
Yeah. That
He should
shtick,
be,
shtick, like I don't. I think that's the word. The shtick. It gets
yeah,
old. You know what I'm saying? It gets old. It gets old for real.
yeah. So I don't know. Bill Belichick might just have to take a year or something off and become somebody's president of football operations or something like that, basically. But we'll see how it go. But anyway, I'm gonna end it right there. I don't want to go forever. It's already 10 o'clock. I thank you so much for sticking in it with me with Lamar. I really appreciate you for
Oh
coming
man,
through and give me somebody to talk to, man. Because I could be talking by myself, but it's so much better when I have
yeah,
company.
for
So I really
sure.
appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, it was live.
Without man, appreciate you. And sorry, I know we bumped heads on the AD thing, but that's just it's a
Wait,
sports. That's a sports.
it's
It's
good
sports.
television.
Good content, man. Good content. But yo, thank y'all for coming out. If y'all stuck in or if y'all come back and watch this live video, I really appreciate y'all for doing it. Go ahead and like the video while you at it though. That would that would help me out so much, so much. And while you at it, please go spend 2 seconds and go to Call Me a Sports Fan on YouTube or Lakers and the Other 29 on YouTube. Those are my other two sports channels. I'm trying to grow those channels so that basically I don't have to always, do my sports chats on the Call Me Nakomi World, which is my main channel. And I so much appreciate y'all for coming. So if y'all have a chance, go ahead and subscribe to Call Me Nakomi World, Call Me a Sports Fan, or Lakers and the Other 29. It's just so I could basically start to really grow this brand so I could keep everything separated and keep y'all going to exactly where y'all want to go to. You know what I mean? I'm trying to direct traffic here. I'm trying to direct traffic. So y'all help me out with that. You know what I mean? Like the video if you can. Um, Subscribe, share it with your friends, or just tell a friend, and they could basically, come through whenever they get a chance. Or you could go to Instagram and follow me at Call Me Nakomi, and I always post when I'm going live, just so y'all know and y'all be able to come through and come and see it. You know what I mean? Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Lamar, for coming through. Always invited and welcome at my you have an open door. You had the key to the front door. You come through, grab the robe, put on the sweater and stretch it, put on the sweater and stretch it out, go into the fridge and pull out a sandwich like bruh man from the fifth floor.
I'm
You
gonna
can
leave a
always
corner of
go.
orange juice. I'm gonna leave a corner of orange juice.
That's a swallow full. This is gonna leave a swallow full in the orange juice
I
container,
ain't
bro.
kill it though. I ain't kill it.
But I appreciate you. It's just like when they say on Friday, when you run out of milk in the cereal, put some water on it. Just
Mm,
same thing, same thing. Nah, it's not. It's not the same thing, son. It's not the same thing without you. I appreciate you coming here, man. So thank you very much for coming through. Thank everybody for watching. I hope to see you next time. I'm about to go see. I check out this Laker game that's about to go down, and we gonna hopefully holler at y'all another time. But till next time, when you always find water and shade. Peace out, people.
peace.